remember this is like games from the loft things we used to do.
All right,
Well, they
started recording.
Wait, you got 2 recording now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started. Nice.
All right.
All right. So,
You just want to
hello
start off,
everyone and
Zach?
welcome.
Okay.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Hey Listen Video Game Podcast. This is episode 48, almost 50, and we're recording on June 26, 2014. And today I'm joined with the original co-host, Cole Anoinavi.
How's it going, everybody?
And we've got no one else as hosts, but we do have a guest, and that is Dinky Dana. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Excited to talk about some games here.
Yeah, today we're going to do a Mario Kart 8 roundtable, which is fitting considering recently Dinky's been doing a lot of Mario Kart streams.
Way too much.
Yeah. I've been on quite a few of them, too. There are a couple I missed, but I almost went to them all. But
Yeah,
definitely-
when you're in there, I'm like struggling to win.
yeah, but you've gotten way better since then. I think we're pretty even now. Like, because
Yeah.
literally the last matches we've been doing, we're like 1 or 2 points off, or sometimes we got the same exact score in the end. So
I know, it's awesome.
I get
Yeah.
so like angry with Mario Kart too. Like you'll be online and then you'll get hit by like 5 items. Because I'll be in first for like the first 2 laps, and then all of a sudden like a blue shell and then a red shell, and then I get so competitive with it.
I know Mario Kart 8, I feel is like the most balanced one so far. Like you can get the furthest by just skill than in Mario Karts before, but there's still those times where you can just get really screwed over.
I hate when people get to 3 red shells. Like someone in second place will get 3 red shells, and it's like if you have a big enough lead, you can get hit by all 3 of those, and it's so
Yeah.
maddening. You guys haven't really seen it on the stream. It was more when I'm playing against the NPCs, and I would just get so mad I'd like smack my desk sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
tried
People
to-
talk about like getting mad at playing Call of Duty, like just screaming at kids. But man, like Mario Kart for me is even worse.
Yeah, it's like especially if you're on the last lap and then you get hit by one thing and then it just sets off a chain reaction and you just get hit by 1,000 things at once.
Yeah, and then some Bowser comes by and knocks you off Rainbow Road. It's maddening.
Yeah.
And yet we still play it. It's still so much fun.
I know, it is a blast. It really doesn't get old.
Yeah.
I thought it might, but it didn't.
Alright, so the first thing I wanted to do was to establish like how much experience we've each had with Mario Kart in general, and then how much we put into Mario Kart 8. So Dinky, I know this is your first Mario Kart game.
Yep.
And how many hours have you put into Mario Kart 8? Do you have any idea?
Oh my goodness. Way too many. Here, I could probably look it up in my past broadcasts on my Twitch. Here's one for 6.5 hours. I streamed straight through. Here's 4 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours. I was streaming like when the game came out. I streamed pretty much every day for a week.
Yeah.
So I'm probably up to at least 50, 60 hours, something like that.
Jeez, man.
But
That's awesome.
maybe not quite that many, but however long I've streamed for.
Yeah. So Cole, how many Mario Kart games have you played, Cole?
I've played the Game Boy Advance one. I have Double Dash, which is the one I have the most experience with. And that's actually it. I've played Mario Kart Wii and I've played Mario Kart DS, but I haven't been like a huge advocate for those games. So this is the first one since 2003? So about a decade.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
How many hours you put into
I'm probably at like 30, 35.
Yeah,
It's something along those lines.
Yeah, so for me, I've played Super Mario Kart. I've played Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Kart DS, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 7.
So we got the experienced guy right here.
All of them.
That's literally every one. But like the Game Boy Advance one, I didn't play long at all because, to be honest, I really don't like the play style of Super Circuit and Super Mario Kart. It's like it's so impossible to go back to this especially after playing Mario Kart 8.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it'd be the same with Mario Kart 64 too. But I just checked on my Wii U like daily activity log, and it says I have 44 hours on Mario
Jeez.
Kart.
Is that
Nice.
between you and your brother?
Yeah, but
Okay.
he's never played by himself, so every time he's playing, I was playing too.
Okay.
So
So it's definitely 44 hours.
yeah. But what I wanted to go into first was to name some of like the new features to Mario Kart 8, and one of them, the whole thing they talked up all before release, was the anti-gravity uh, thing. The fact that you can go upside down and on the side.
Yeah.
Do you think that really affected the gameplay a lot?
Yeah, I don't think it really affects the gameplay per se, but it makes the tracks like way more interesting where there's usually like 2 or 3 different ways to maneuver where you can go on this wall, you can go through the middle, the
Oh
right
yeah.
side, like there's so many different ways to play. But probably the biggest thing is if you're on the anti-gravity, if you run into someone else, basically your cart will
Oh
spin and
yeah.
it'll make you go faster. That's the biggest thing with it.
Yeah.
And that definitely adds a lot to it.
Yeah, it's such a cool element, especially
Uh-huh.
I've noticed on Rainbow Road that can actually like ruin you when you get boosted too much and then you fly off the edge.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it stinks when that happens.
So you can use it pretty strategically, and if you like hit someone with an item and then you run into them while you're in anti-gravity, I'm pretty sure you're the only one that gets the boost, right? I think they're like in a certain condition and they don't get a boost. Like, they've
Yeah,
just been
there's some site, I'm not sure how they do it, but I guess there's some way where they can detect, yeah, you ran into them, they didn't run into you, sort of thing. But
so that's the
yeah,
way you
yeah.
can use it to your advantage. Just like that adds a whole other level of strategy, and then like you said with the tracks, that adds a whole other dynamic because they can completely have these diverse tracks where you can go through multiple paths and all these different ways. And the way they incorporated them into the retro tracks too, they added anti-gravity portions that makes them like basically new tracks. So
Yeah, what's so cool about it too is that you're playing Mario Kart, and you usually think of that as a different series between like Super Mario and Mario Kart, but it's cool how they made it even more like the 3D Marios, where it's almost like you're playing a platformer, if that makes sense, where you'll be in like anti-gravity, you can jump off, then you'll be in the glider, and you're trying to like it's almost like Tony Hawk in a way, if that makes sense, you know? Where
Tony
you're just
Hawk.
like where you're just maneuvering everywhere. It's like trying to get to specific spots for shortcuts, and there's just like a huge variety of ways to play the game, which is really cool. Like I don't know, maybe not Tony Hawk, but I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like you're just in a park, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean this is my first one playing, so I don't know. Like I know a lot of them are throwbacks to the old ones and remakes of those, but I mean the level designs I think are really awesome. I mean like the anti gravity helps a lot, makes things like I don't know, it's just fun. Like the one that I'm thinking of is the that music one that has a ton of anti gravity one or anti gravity every time when you go in the anti gravity section, like the music changes and stuff, and all these little things that they added
Mhm.
to as you're racing, it actually feels like you're going through different stages of a level as you go through and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah. And
And
another. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
one more thing that I found was really cool. My friend sent me a picture, and on that cloud level, they
Yeah.
have one section where there's a big red block, and then there's like the vine thing that you go around, and then right after that, it shoots you up into the clouds.
Hmm.
And that's like he sent me a picture, and there's a picture of that, and then a picture of the very first vine from Super Mario Brothers 1, and it's like the exact same. And I never even realized that when I was
Really?
racing. That it's basically like you're hitting the coin, going up the vine, and then shooting off into the clouds. Stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that's
didn't even
awesome.
think of that.
I
Yeah,
never
it's neat.
noticed that. Wow. Ugh.
Yeah, there's like all
The-
kinds of weird things to all the old games. So when you say it's like playing those other games, it really does bring back all those memories for them.
Yeah, another thing with Mario Kart 8 that they talked up in the beginning that I don't think was near as spectacular in like when they finally you get the chance to do it yourself like I feel like the gimmick wore off really quickly, and that was the whole highlight reel thing,
Yeah.
the whole slow motion thing. Like I literally did that
Yeah.
a couple times, and then when I play with my friends, they ask for it a couple times. But other than that,
It's
really
almost worth having that in there just for Angry Luigi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luigi death there.
I'm sure a lot of kids like it though. You know, just getting a chance to upload YouTube videos and that sort
Yeah.
of thing. But
I've
for
also
me,
noticed.
no.
I've noticed that a lot of the highlights weren't even some of the best parts. Like there was several times where there were like crazy blue shells that caused someone else to win, but they didn't even have that in the highlights. So it's
And it's
completely random.
I didn't use the highlight thing because if I upload anything to my YouTube, it's just like from my stream that I'll upload. But it looked like when you upload it through the Wii, it's not even like a first person thing. It's just like the highlights of all the different camera angles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when somebody uploads that, that's not what I want to watch. I want to watch how they won. You know? So,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, most of this stuff. I mean, it's cool that they implemented that, but I mean, people aren't going to use that for too long, you know?
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about before getting into like the items and the tracks is the fact that I think in this game more than ever the drifting and like drafting behind other players is kind of like more crucial than it's ever been, because that's literally like the power slide. I don't know if it's like called power sliding or drifting or whatever, but
One of the two.
that's like that's the most crucial thing to this game, I feel.
Oh yeah,
Just
if you don't do it,
knowing when
you
to
won't
slide.
win. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And CRPG, you saw me. What's the first day that you watched me stream? Because I picked it up on the Friday it came out, and I was terrible.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was like your second or third stream in. I'm not sure.
I was so bad. And then once you figure out how to drift and things like that, then you start playing. Because without that, you're not going to be doing anything.
Yeah, and then you have to figure out like where to drift like on each track, because there's like the specific parts where you can drift for like a little while and just wait. And there's so
Yeah.
much like nuance to it. And actually, I had a question for you guys. Do you use the gamepad or the Pro controller?
Gamepad.
I use the gamepad too. I'd like to get a Pro controller, but they're $50, so
Yeah.
I haven't got one.
I have a Pro controller, but I feel like it's unnecessary because the gamepad controls work perfect for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, why? What do you play with?
Okay, I play with the Pro controller, but like the gamepad, I think is better for drifting. So I don't know.
Yeah? Why is that?
I don't know why it is. I think just because the triggers are maybe a little bit more comfortable, because the Pro controllers are more like the Xbox 360's triggers, so they're a little bit thin. Whereas with the gamepad, they're like what, maybe like a centimeter, so maybe even a little bit more. So I don't know. I think it just makes it a little bit more comfortable. But obviously, I just don't want to carry like the screen on my lap and. But
Yeah, like
But you don't look down in the middle of a race to see what
What?
everybody has.
I know it shows in depth like every item that people have.
It's like I'm not gonna look down in the middle of a race and see what you have behind me.
Like I
Hello.
tried I tried a couple of times recently to just look down and see who was ahead of me, like during the online races, and I just ended up running into a wall.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
only thing that
exactly.
I do like to use it just for like if you're racing through and you get first or second, it's kind of cool to just be able to see how far ahead or behind the person was. But I mean, during a race, that's like the most useless thing ever.
It's just like a pointless screen where you can just put a horn on there.
Yeah, you aren't running through honking the horn on a gamepad.
Yeah.
Does the horn even do anything?
No,
Or
it's
is it just obnoxious?
if you're around someone and you're honking when you don't tell them an item, it'll like make them jiggle a little bit. It'll make the characters bounce up and down a little bit.
Does it really? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, they'll like wiggle. It won't affect them at all, but
I noticed the computer honks every single time you hit them. No matter what, without fail, you are going to get honked at.
No one's able to honk that perfectly. Like I've always wanted to be able to like hit someone with an item and pass them and honk on my way there.
Yeah.
But I was never able to do that. I never thought to do that.
Oh, man. I didn't know they shake. I'll have to pay attention next time I pass you up. I'll honk at you.
I like how they try to incorporate the whole touchscreen with the horn, the whole horn thing.
Yeah.
If it's like supposed to immerse you into the Mario Kart universe more.
You know, one thing that I was surprised while we're talking about the controllers, I was really surprised with people coming into the stream. They're actually using the steering wheel for control.
Yeah.
And like a lot of them are, I mean, they do pretty well. I would think, from my experience in the past, usually if I'm playing a game like competitively, I wouldn't really use the steering wheel.
Mhm.
But it must be pretty good on this one because a lot of people seem to be using it.
Yeah.
I feel like
actually
it's the
use-
hipster controller.
Yeah, I talked to the one guy, OJ, in the stream. He's always playing with us, and he's pretty decent. And I asked him, he said he just lounges in his place, and I always wondered what he was sitting on and how he was set up. He said he has the steering wheel, and he just lounges back on his beanbag chair. I was like, oh man, that's
That's
awesome.
funny. Yeah.
I actually played the entirety of Mario Kart Wii. It was with the motion controls. I didn't use the GameCube controller for whatever reason.
Yeah, it worked pretty well.
Yeah, it worked pretty well. But the thing is, with that game at least, you couldn't actually drift manually when you were using motion controls. Like, it would drift automatically.
Yeah,
So it would be awkward sometimes. Especially with this game where it's like there's such precise drifting you need to do. I imagine that would be difficult, but I don't know how it works exactly in this.
yeah, I probably won't be trying the steering wheel.
Nope.
Actually, I want to talk about the online real quick because I think this is both like kind of a strong point, but also kind of a weak point of the game. Because it's strong in that I've never really experienced. There's like a couple times where things lagged out and a shell hit someone where it didn't look like it actually touched them. But other than that, it seemed to work pretty smoothly.
I haven't had any issues.
I've
I don't
seen
know.
I've seen a couple small things like ZRPG was saying, when you throw some shells, it looks like it'll stick right behind them, and then it looks like it should hit them, and then it kind of doesn't, but it still hits them in the game. So I've seen some like visual things, but it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like the actual effect of things is getting glitched. So and then when people fall off the map, sometimes it'll glitch out and things will miss them. But I mean, I haven't seen too many glitches at all.
But I want to talk about how I don't really like the some of the things they did with the online. Like when you go to join a match in Worldwide, I found a lot of times you'll end up just spectating a match, and you'll have to sit through the entire race. before
That
you
is
get to
sort
it.
of annoying. Like in the very beginning of a race too. So you have to watch like all
Yeah.
3 laps. It's like, come
you
on.
watch them start.
Yeah,
You can see them starting and everything. So that was really annoying.
Nintendo does
And
that
the-
with
the
a lot
whole-
of their games. Like Kid
Yeah, the
Icarus
whole-
does that too.
The whole fact that you can only do voice chat when you're in the lobby before the thing, the actual race,
yeah, that really stinks.
and only with your friends, of course. But
It makes it so useless almost.
yeah, I just like exchanged random comments like when we were playing with Cole and the other guys earlier. But
I wish
The whole
you could
using
just
the
have like
game-
voice chat. Like
Yeah.
just an overall like operating system voice chat where there's just maybe like a party chat feature or something where it doesn't have to be built into the game, just
yeah,
I
it
don't
should
know,
definitely be
something.
a thing. You should be able to be playing Wind Waker and talking to someone that's playing Mario 3D World or something. That should still be an option. And the video chat is literally the video chat on Wii U is one of the worst things I've seen.
I haven't even looked into that at
Because
all.
you can only chat with them on the application on video, so you can't actually exit and keep talking.
Yeah, that's dumb.
So you have to sit there and stare at them the whole time. So I've never had the opportunity to use that aside for, I think, did I use it with you once, Cole?
That yeah, one time we did that.
Yeah, we just
Never
tried
again.
it out. But no one will ever use that.
Well, like my opinion on the online is, I really like that I can play online with people now and not have any issues. I mean, like I play with my friend over in Japan all the time, and I've never had any issues playing with him. So I mean, online as far as that on Nintendo, that's like a huge step up. But there are a lot of weird things like you mentioned, and then the one tournament.
Oh, that's what I was
Started
going
up
to say.
this was so bad. I started a tournament and I was all ready to have it set up, and how it works is you set up a tournament and it starts at like 7:30 to 8:30, and then everybody who's in the tournament at like 7:25. At 7:30, it switches over and everyone goes into the tournament. So I'm all set up to have a tournament with, I think, 8 or 10 people. It's not even the full 12. Yeah. And I'm playing, and I start playing. There's only like 4 or 5 people, and then all the rest are NPCs. And ZRPG's writing me in the chat. He's like, I'm racing all by myself. There's nobody else in his thing. And it's just so stupid how it links them together. I don't really understand how it worked, but I mean, there are like things like that are just kind of weird. That I mean, I can't complain because Nintendo stepped up to at least being online, but it's still nowhere near Xbox.
Well, it splits people up, and even when you set like, even in a normal versus match with friends, if you set it to be a team battle, it'll completely randomize and include the NPCs in the randomization. So you'll sometimes have a team full of real people versus like 2 real people, and then the rest are NPCs on another team. So that's complete BS too.
Yeah, and another weird thing about, since you mentioned team, a blue shell should not target your own team. Or like, a red shell, it should skip to the other. I mean, I don't mind if the red shell hits your own team on the way, but it's like, man, they lock on and the team is kind of weird,
Right, so it's
friendly fire.
Yeah, team battles are almost worthless or like pointless because I just go after everyone anyway. Because like if I'm behind someone on my own team, I'm not just gonna let them win. I'm gonna go try to take them down too.
Yeah, I've gotten so excited. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm hitting people with shells and I'm all excited. And since the stream is 60 seconds behind, I see people chatting after. They're like, I'm on your team, dude. I'm all excited about it. But I mean, it's still fun playing online. But, it's weird.
Have you guys tried any of like the lobbies? Like, I know there's a no items lobby. There's like I think it's red shell only lobby and stuff like that.
All right, so there's shells only, bananas only, bombs only, frantic mode, no items, all items. But here's the thing I'll say about that is that shells only can be pretty good sometimes because that'll be more skillful, except for when blue shells come into play. But then you have bananas only, which we played that on Dinky's stream before, and that was just awful.
That's a freaking mess. It just sucks. I thought it would be fun. It's terrible.
Because it's like, once someone gets ahead, there's no way you're going to catch them with bananas.
Yeah.
You just try chucking them at them, but then when they're out of reach, it's impossible.
I think it would be fun if it was like the Nintendo 64 Mario Kart where we had like 5 bananas, but I don't know. I
think they only last for 1 lap too, so they don't actually like straight pile up. So
really?
Somebody in first place, I mean, they'll go through and they pass it once, and then I think they could pass it again, but then they all disappear kind of. So if they didn't do that, the 3rd lap would be covered with bananas, but they kind of get rid of them. So
yeah. And then the bombs only, like that's like hectic and kind of awesome, but it's also really bad at the same time because it's the same thing where if you get ahead, then you're gonna get really far ahead because the whole people in the back are going to be busy bombing themselves while there's one person out in front that just manages to get out of the reach of the bombs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty bad. The frantic mode, it's not as frantic as I originally thought it was, but you'll definitely see a lot more like stars and bullet bills and more powerful items like that. But I guess that's pretty neat. But one of the things I wish they'd done was make it more customizable. Like I was imagining before it came out like a Smash Bros style thing where you could choose which items will be on and off.
Yeah, I wish they did that too, because having only one, I mean, it's interesting, but it would be cool to be able to customize it completely.
Imagine you just do like certain items that everyone likes, like throwing boomerangs and the bombs.
I think you can do that if you play with friends. I could be wrong.
No, you can't.
You can't? Okay.
No, because that's what we were doing for a while with Dinky too. Was he would just start a match and then we'd join his game. And I hosted a couple before, and those are the only options they give you. So
yeah, we tested that out because CRPG was in a lobby all by himself for like 3 races in a row. And I was like, all right, we got to get back. This tournament system's not working.
Yeah.
We did a couple of those. We did the bananas, the bombs, and then we did no items, which no items was kind of cool. I mean, it's just all skill, but you can't catch up to anyone unless you actually race better. But
Yeah.
it's cool. I wish you could customize it and have all the best items with none of the bad ones. But oh well.
But yeah, when you were doing the tournament was also when you were doing the giveaway thing, so it was all messed up.
Yeah, you got screwed because what you got. Well, I guess you would have been better. Yeah, it got split up, so there were people playing on the stream, and you could only see 4 to 6 of them. But there were still 4 to 5 people that were in other lobbies. So the person who actually got first place on the stream was really in third. So it looked like they should have won, but then they didn't because the other lobby actually got more points, and it just didn't work too well.
Yeah, I was playing by myself, and I was like, okay, I'll just drop out and then try to join one of the other games when they're done. But then it just left me alone in the room.
Again. Yeah, you should have just played against the NPC all the time, and you'd get 60.
I know, I could have done that.
The full first place every single
But the NPCs in this game are so good. They're always going to be ahead of you.
100
There's always going to be that one.
I actually just earlier today I finished getting all the stars for 150cc and mirror mode, so I got all those now.
Yeah, I just did that. I just finished those up yesterday, and I thought I couldn't figure out how to get the gold wheels. You have to beat all the NPC or the developer time.
Yeah.
Traps. So I'm going to doing that now, but they're pretty bad.
Yeah. But those were brutal, the 150cc, because it seemed like every time I would get through 2 or 3 races, and then there would be one where I just got screwed over from first place, and then you'd have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah, it stinks. How are the old games set up? I mean, did you still have to do stuff like that, or?
Yeah, pretty much the exact same thing.
It was
but
the same.
You didn't get coins in all of the old ones.
That was another thing.
Yeah. So, like, in Double Dash, you only got new characters. Well, no, I guess you got carts, too. But there was only, like, 8 unlocks or something like that. Oh, then plus mirror mode. So I guess there's more like 16. But not a whole lot.
Well, my question is, why do you not get anything good for finishing all 3 stars?
I know.
You don't get anything for that. And I'm like,
disappointed.
I just finished this huge accomplishment. I tried so hard, and then you don't get anything. I'm like, come on, get out of here.
I guess you could take a screenshot and post it to Miiverse.
At least give me like a give me bonus coins or anything.
They should have had like a really awesome character to unlock for that.
Yeah, I don't know, something.
That's
and
another.
Oh, what's that?
That's another thing. I think they should fire whoever was in charge of choosing characters for that game.
Why is that?
Because the Koopalings are a little excessive, and the amount of babies and Koopalings in comparison to the other characters, I feel like that was a little much.
Yeah.
You could tell they were just piling them on so it looked like they'd have more characters than they actually do, just by doing all these bland characters. I don't know why they had to. They were trying to make it a big deal that they added all the Koopalings in, because it's so many characters. Then you have like 3 different baby versions of other characters that are also there.
More than 3, I think it's like 4.
Yeah, I think there are 4.
Yeah.
Rosalina.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no, there's Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Peach, Baby Rosalina. Yeah, there's 4.
And the other thing, too, is, so I was looking through and back, like, I really sucked at the game for, like, the first week. It was terrible. And everybody, I mean, it stinks because I'm streaming and I'm in last place every single time. So it's like, I got to figure something out, and I just looked like an asshole. So I went on and I started looking up, there's, like, the stats thing. Did you see the stats chart for, like, it was on Reddit or something? So I went through and
I saw that you posted that in the calculator thing, but
yeah. So I went and like I do web development and stuff. So I did I made a Mario Kart stats calculator, and you can put in all the characters and all the different stuff. And it's really weird. There are all these things that go into it, and they have like speed and all the normal stuff. But then they also have hidden stats, like water speed would be different depending on what you have, and there's like water, ground, and air speed. So some characters are faster in the air and some are faster underwater. And the reason I figured that out is because on that Dolphin Shoals, I was underwater and I was moving so slow. And then I switched up all my carts after looking at the stats, and I crushed the computer. So they have all kinds of stuff that's like hidden that you don't really see that goes into the speed stuff, and it's kind of neat.
I'm gonna have to look into that. Make the perfect like cart customization and stuff.
Yeah. Am I the only one who wishes they just go back to like regular carts and not have all these customization options?
Well, I don't know how they were before. No matter what you pick, you're all just the same, or what?
They had like weight classes based on characters, and there'd be different handling on like bikes compared to carts when you got to Wii at least, but they didn't have all these in-depth like wheels and carts that they added with Mario Kart 7 and 8.
Yeah, see, I like the complexity of it. I think I find
here.
that really interesting. I mean, I like that it kind of stinks that you have to go through and evaluate like different carts and wheels and figure out all the differences with them. But I think that makes it really cool because, I mean, in the beginning I moved slow in water, so then I switched things, and then even just in this last stream I was doing, there was that one Inazuma guy, and he just kept crushing me every single race, and he told me what stats or what things he was using, and I switched, and it's all heavy stuff, so the controls are way different, but if you get into like first or second place, you're gonna stay there. So I like how it adds all that stuff and makes it a lot more complex.
Yeah, I can see that, but at the same time, I didn't really look into it that much. I just looked at like the acceleration and stuff that they had in the game that you could look at. But I just stuck with I chose like a bike. I used the Wiggler bike and Koopa Troopa with like slick tires, and then I just stuck with that. And I just once I became comfortable with it, I didn't find a reason to change it. Just get better at that.
Well, you should check out my calculator because it actually makes a big difference. I couldn't believe how much switching all the things up had a difference.
Yeah, now I use the gold standard cart now too. I really like that cart.
Yeah, I just got it. I haven't even tried it yet.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if it's actually really good. I guess it is.
It feels really good, but at the same time, it handles It feels like it handles the exact same way as the Wiggler bike that I'm using. I can barely tell the difference sometimes. Like there's certain bikes that are like drastically different from the handling of normal carts, but other than that, I don't really notice all that much if you don't change the character that much. So.
See, I used to use the scooter one or whatever, and then that was a bike, and I switched over to the pipe frame cart, and I thought it was like completely different. It turned so much, like with the bike, I could turn sharp, but then with the cart, I couldn't turn fast at all, but I could go real fast. So.
Yeah, I noticed between carts and bikes in general, the bikes are really a lot more difficult to control, especially at first, before you get used to them.
I can't stand the bikes. I'm definitely a cart guy.
Man. Why do you like them more?
I don't know why. There's just a couple of tracks where I tried riding them with a bike. I think it was like the Wiggler one, and it's just so difficult for me. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I kept running into walls, and
I tried other bikes and I couldn't stand them either. Like I could only do the carts. They seemed to handle way better than those. But then I used a Wiggler bike and it seemed to handle more like a cart does. So it was better for me. But
you know what I think? Speaking of bikes, just to go completely off topic a little bit here, but I never played any Mario Kart, so I didn't really understand how much fun they were, and I'm having such a blast with them, and it made me think back to a Sega Genesis game. Why do they not make a new Road Rash similar to like a Mario Kart style?
When was the last Road Rash?
I don't know. It was a long time ago, and I remember they got rid of co-op, which is retarded. But I don't know. I was like, man, imagine a road rash like Mario Kart. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry. I just thought about that with all the bikes.
All right. So what about we get into some of the items? First, I want to talk about some changes I've noticed with some of the older items that returned. And the one that seems to stick out to me, I don't know if you noticed this, Cole, in comparison to other games, but I feel like the green shell is like a lot more frequent and a lot more useful in this game.
I mean, they're about the Same. I mean, maybe they are more frequent. In fact, I think they definitely are. But I haven't really noticed them being better. Why do you say that? Are they just like faster or?
I don't know. It seems like the hitbox is more generous than games before. Like, and it's a lot more satisfying to hit someone with a green shell. I've noticed.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of fun to hit them with that now. In comparison to a red shell, which I feel like they've nerfed a little bit. Like it's not as powerful as it was before because they're constantly giving you defense items you can just stick behind you to protect yourself with. But then the triple red shells and stuff like that are pretty powerful. At the same time, when you have like 2 green shells around you, then you're also really open to attacks still.
Yeah, I was surprised with that. When you have 3 hovering around you or spinning, you still get hit. Well, I guess not so much with 3, but if you lose one of them, you get hit a lot when there's only 2.
Yeah, like when I'm in first and I have the 3 bananas or whatever, I just once I lose one of them from something, I just ditch the other 2 and grab another item.
Yes, it was.
It's basically like random chance whether or not you're gonna get hit. It just happens to hit you at the right angle or not when it comes. So don't take that risk.
Yeah, like you said with the hitbox, I've seen a couple with the green shell where I'll shoot it past people and it'll kind of go up beside them, but it still hits them. It's like, it seems, fairly accurate, but not 100%.
That was one thing with the replays when I looked at them a couple of times, the highlight reels. I could see where you could clearly see the green shell didn't make any contact whatsoever, but then the card just starts flipping out.
I think there was one where I hit you with a green shell, and I think I even said, like, oh, man, I totally missed you, and then it still hit you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, and the mushrooms are also really helpful in this game because there's a lot of different shortcuts in the tracks. I feel like there are more than there used to be. It's similar to Mario Kart 7, but they added a lot of different paths you can go, and there's constantly different shortcuts you can get. They just give you a slight edge. Like, it's nothing huge. Most of them aren't huge shortcuts, but a couple are. But they give you a slight edge. They could make a difference if you use them right. Like, a lot of times... who was the one? Royal Raceway, I think. I've seen a lot of times where I boosted right at the end and was able to pass people to get first right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with this. Like when I came in, I didn't know any of that was there, and I never really watched the time trials, so it's kind of fun just experimenting and trying to find out which areas you can cut through, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah, and then there's the gold mushroom, which they also brought back. But I think is a pretty good item. That helps you clear a lot of distance really quick.
I feel like it's nerfed from the past Mario Karts. I'm not sure if that happened in DS or Wii, but it's definitely not as good as it was on like 64 and Double Dash.
Yeah, it might be, but it makes you feel like you're going so fast.
Oh,
but
yeah.
then you'll notice you only passed like maybe 1 or 2 people, and like what's going on here?
It's because they put those strip stream lines on you. Now, why do you think the older ones were better?
It just felt like
faster boost.
I think so, because every time you use the boost in this game, you think like you're getting a full mushroom, but you don't really pass anyone. But in the past games, I think that's the case where every time you hit it, it was the equivalent of using a full mushroom just over and over and over again. And I think it lasted a little bit longer too. But in this one, it just, I don't know. I just don't get as far ahead as I think I did in the past games. So I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's nerfed.
Yeah. Another item is the fire flower, which I think is an item that's just kind of there. It's like one of the ones where if you're in a huge group of people, it can be useful because it's easier to hit a lot of them. But if you're spaced out, it's really one of those items where you're just going to try to waste it as soon as possible.
So difficult to hit people with it. It just goes so slow. That's the problem, I think.
Well, the best thing that I've found with that is if you see a turn coming up in front of you, I've seen 2 good uses for it. One is if you see a turn coming up in front of you and there's someone like relatively in front of you, you can shoot them so fast that it basically just makes a wall, and the person like can't get through it at all. And then the thing that I did just a day or two ago, I never knew it worked, is right when I think there was a red shell coming at me, and I just started shooting backwards, and it hit it and blew it up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of cool. Like I never
Yeah.
realized that would work, but I mean, overall, it's. I mean, I'd rather have a banana.
Yeah. Also, you can use that. Like I'll see shells coming, and it's nice to stop that with too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just kind of there. But what I think is one of the better items in this game still is the star.
Yeah, Star's pretty cool. It's just fun, first of all.
Yeah. And it's like a lot better handling than if you're using maybe like some of the mushrooms or other boosts you can get. Like it feels a lot smoother when you're using that. It's just like a gradual increase in speed, but it's just really satisfying to knock people around with that too.
Oh, it's the best when you use the star and you take a shortcut and then you smack into something. And they're like, first of all, where the hell did you come from? And then you hit into me too on top of it. It feels good.
Yeah, I always feel so bad with those types of items like that and the bullet bill.
Yeah.
When you're right, you see like the finish line's in sight, but you just like ruins someone's dreams. Like crashing into them. You just see like 8 different people pass them right at the end.
Dude, wasn't there one that we were playing and I threw a blue shell or somebody did and it hit you right as you passed the finish line?
Yeah, it was literally a millisecond after the finish line. I was like shaking.
I wanted to ruin your dream that game.
You're clutching.
Yeah. Like if I had messed up even slightly there, it would have gotten me, and it would have made the difference because I turned around and there's a dude that was like an inch behind me. So.
It's fun now because now that I'm better, it's like we actually have good races and stuff.
Yeah, but those were the most difficult races I've ever played. It was in that set of matches with you guys because I got like 1 first place the whole time.
I could barely get first place too. I got like I don't know. There were a couple people that were just really good. I mean, that's the thing that you get with the streams though. You get the people who are just surfing around looking for people to play with, and they play all the time. You know.
Yeah. You like that? There's people that were like, it was like something raid. There's just a bunch of random dudes that.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what was up with that.
I don't know what they were doing.
I think they were just being assholes or something like that. I don't know. A whole bunch of people just came in and said raid.
What?
There were probably like 20 of them. Like my view count went from like 20 something to like 45, and then all these people came in, and I thought it was people like trolling me or something. So
Yeah.
I didn't know what happened, but I got like 10 followers during that, and they were some of the people actually raced with us. So I don't know if they were real or if they were just being jerks.
I know they jumped in I noticed some of the people in the race too. There's a bunch of random people.
Yeah. So
They're like,
I don't know what happened.
You're like, you just got raid wrecked. What are you talking about?
And me, like, you could see me in the thing. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just started streaming like a little bit ago. I don't even have any moderators. Maybe I should make you a moderator because there's no way I'd be able to block all these people. You know? They could write whatever they want in there.
Oh yeah, that's true. At least they didn't really do anything bad. They just for some reason that was considered a raid. Joining it and supporting your stream.
And it's weird too because normally I have found some like weird things like. I mean, there are all these, what do they call them, like bots or whatever. I don't know, like Twitch bots or whatever. And it couldn't be that because they actually wrote stuff. So, like, do they actually just have a group of people that just all join in at once? Or what are they doing?
They just organized an effort to jump on Dinky Dana's stream one night.
And just scream raid in the chat all day.
And then hop on and play some Mario Kart.
It makes so much sense.
Man. And the thing for me too is, like, if I was just playing this game by myself, I probably wouldn't be playing it nearly as much.
Yeah.
Basically, let's say I played 60 hours of the game. I bet you probably 50 to 55 are me playing with people in the stream, and that's it. I played probably 1 hour of the actual worldwide, and then a little bit of the single player. But everything is with the people in the stream. It's so much fun playing with, like, I mean, when I'm playing with you guys, it feels like we're all friends, like sitting in there playing, you know, like in the old
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like Nintendo's never really had online like that, so it's really cool. I think they stepped it up a little bit with this game, and a lot of people are buying the Wii for this, and I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Crazy. I was checking like the sales, and I can't. It was like 250,000 Wii U's got like shipped and sold, which is like
Yeah.
huge right now. Because like Xbox One, let's see, like this week, and this is like 3 weeks after it came out, or something like that. Let's see, like yeah, like 26 days. The Wii U sold 68,000 this week, and then Xbox One sold 64,000. So like Mario Kart's like really helping them out because they used to be way below pretty much everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, and they need it. Nintendo needs
Oh
it.
yeah, oh yeah.
Because I don't know about you guys, but I bought the Nintendo Wii U day one, and I've barely played it. I mean, I played the Mario games, and then I played a little bit of the Zombie U, but it was just collecting dust. And then this came out, and now I play it all the time.
Hmm.
Oh
So
yeah.
it got a lot of people into it, and hopefully it'll build up some hype for getting the Smash Brothers out and
That's good. That's got to drive it home. Smash Bros. Got to bring it home.
And I don't know if you guys want to chat about that in a little bit, but I've never played a Smash Brothers either.
We can do
I mean,
that.
That is a problem.
I've played them a little bit, but not like getting into it and competitive.
It's probably the biggest problem you could have in your life.
Not for long, because I'll definitely be doing the same thing I did with Mario Kart,
Oh, yeah.
and you'll see me absolutely suck, and then like 2 to 3 weeks later.
Yeah,
hopefully
the
really
thing
good.
with that is when you have streams and stuff, you can only have 4 people in at a time, so it's gonna
Yeah, I was wondering how that'll work.
you're gonna have to do a lot of rotating. Yeah.
And with crappy the Nintendo crappy system.
I hope the tournament system is just as bad. I hope they do that.
I was so excited too. I really thought it was gonna work, and then it just didn't really. It kind of worked, but not really.
Yeah.
They should have just made like a bracket or something. Just whoever comes in first, or I don't know, or by place.
Or
Yeah.
just put all the people actually together.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I could see if you have more than 12. Everyone should be in the same game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the issue is it's probably the same issue with how they have you have to spectate everything.
Yeah.
So everybody starts in. You might have been in a different race than me when the cup started, and then since the starting times are off, by the time you get out of your race, we already started one. But it's just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo is really weird with their online because even like I was playing Super Mario 3D Worlds a couple like weeks ago, and there's no like online co-op, but there is
Yeah.
like online like ghosts that come in, just like random
Yeah.
people's like play data. So it's like so weird to me. I
It's
don't
like they
know.
clearly have the capability of doing it, but
Yeah.
it's just like
That would be the perfect game to have. I mean, I would play co-op all the time on that, and it's just like you want it to be there, and it should be there, but it's not. So you end up playing
Yeah.
by yourself, and
I know. And everyone has said they want a multiplayer an online multiplayer Mario Party game, but I feel like Mario Party 10 is not going to do that.
No.
Like it looks like just another like version of Mario Party 9. I don't think they're putting that much effort into these games for their online.
But there's gonna be amiibo. There's gonna be amiibo.
Confirmed.
Well, you know what else is weird too? You have all your friends on the games, and then I'm sitting in the lobby with all the people, and I can't accept friend requests while I'm in the lobby. I have to kick
Yeah.
everybody out to accept a friend request. It's so stupid.
What an intuitive online system.
I know. And then I don't think you can message people either, can you?
You can.
You
It's
can,
only
but
on Miiverse.
it's also horrible. Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
back out to do it, right?
Go
Yeah,
into
pretty
Miiverse.
much.
You gotta go into Miiverse and constantly check if you have messages.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's something that they can update just the software. But
Hopefully they incorporate Miiverse stamps into Smash Bros. So you can collect stamps of your favorite characters and post them on Miiverse.
stamps are so stupid. They should give you like a troll stamp when you finish the 3 stars. And
I
just
mean-
give you something like stupid.
It would
Yeah.
be cool if they treated it more like achievements or something, where you can just get like 100 every game. Every game has to have them, but I mean,
Yeah.
as is, it's like whatever.
Do you guys know what it is that you need to do to get the stamps? Most of the stamps on Mario Kart.
I don't know. I just get them randomly.
Yeah, you have to like what beat a
Yeah,
Grand Prix with like every character or something like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
What, are you kidding?
No,
No.
no, it's you get stamps, a unique stamp for every character that beats the Grand Prix.
Oh, that's a pain in the ass.
So that's probably why they put all the Koopa links, just so you have something to collect.
For all your true completionists out there.
Well, thank goodness they don't actually show you your achievements, because I'd be a little bit more motivated to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, there's zero reason to do that.
But then you could use them on your Miiverse posts.
Yeah,
Just
it all works
plop 'em in-
out.
Plop them in there. Take like the little creativity that already existed in Miiverse out by just using stamps.
That's terrible. I'm mad you told me that.
Oh, and going back to the whole how it's more enjoyable to play with people, and how it makes it a lot better in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I've noticed that it's when you're playing on single player with computer players, when you get like blue shelled right at the end of the last lap, and you know you're like working for the 3 stars, and if you just get second place and you know that all the hope is lost, it just makes you extremely frustrated at the game, and there's no one to point that anger towards. Or
Yeah.
if you're online, you can at least have a person to blame for all your failure.
Now the question is, have you hit anything while playing?
No, actually,
Not even a couch or anything?
no. Well, actually, I hurt myself a little bit. Yeah,
Okay, that sounds like you hit something.
some self-induced pain a little bit, but
Please explain.
It's my fault. Just a slapping your own wrist. Just
dude, I like
You got a rubber band on your wrist.
I banged my arm on like the corner of the table in frustration that I wasn't able to get the 3 stars. It was like the last one I needed, and I messed up like at the end of the Rainbow Road. I just started like beating myself up. So
Although, you know what's even worse than that is when you are playing online with people and you're in first and second with somebody, and then you get hit with a blue shell because you can't even blame the person in second place. It's like the person way back in,
some random dude that has no hopes of winning anyway.
and they just ruined all your dreams of winning the race. And you're
For
like,
no reason. Like that literally the only point is to let second place have another shot at it.
yeah. And I'm at least happy because in a stream, that person in 10th place can express their excitement.
Yeah.
And I look down and it's like they had no chance of winning.
Yeah, and like when you're playing online, you can start rivalries with people. Like if you have a green shell, whenever I get a green shell and I see you there, I just like try my hardest.
Yeah, sometimes I shouldn't even throw them. I should use them for like defense. But if you're right in front of me, I will try.
It's just so satisfying. Even though you know, like especially like I said, when you're at the end of the lap, you know it's like they didn't really deserve that. They didn't deserve to get 8th place instead of 1st because, because I hit them with that. But
did you see? I don't know if you watch Jumble Junkie stream at all, but there was
yeah, that's
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
he got. I'm so happy because I was in a terrible position. I was in like 8th or 10th, and I just threw a blue shell, and it hit him, and then all that stuff happened, and he just stopped and raged out. It was
last place.
He posted that video, just like a standalone video of that. He got hit by like 5 things. I counted 5 or 6 things.
that's like the worst that I've ever seen. And then he got knocked off the map at the end of it. It's probably me passing him at the end.
Yeah, all the terrible people at the end. Like when you get pushed back, it's where all the people with the good items are. So then you have these stars. You see like 3 stars behind you and a bullet bill, and you're just scared for your life the entire time.
And you can't get out of there at all.
No.
Another thing with, I did just realize some of those people that were joining in are doing that fire hopping thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to look into that really.
I kind of started already. I was getting mad because you and I both, we could not get first place. And it sucked. I mean, those people would be in front of you and you just cannot catch up. And it's weird because I don't know if they, like, it makes me wonder if they actually wanted that stuff in there. because it is a skill thing. I mean, you have to know how to do it. So I can't really blame people for using it, but I just wonder if they intentionally coded that in.
I heard that they did or something, because I know it's not like a glitch or anything like that. Like, that's in the game, but I'd imagine
Yeah.
they would patch it out if they didn't want that. Because that's what they did with Mario Kart 7. But I have no idea. Like, what is it, though?
Yeah, I don't even know. I just heard that it's like a way to do a lot better.
Basically, I mean, it's not all that hard. It's just hard to control the character. What it is so you're racing regular and you drift. So you have the first like blue sparks that show up, and then if you hold the drift for far enough, you'll get the like orange fire sparks.
Yeah.
And if you get to that point, when you actually use the boost, what people do is they hop, because I guess the timer on the boost gets increased if you're in the air. So it must go by like how often you're on the ground. So if you jump in the air more, that boost lasts for longer.
Huh.
And that's what people are doing. So when they come out of like straightaways, they'll have that boost, and then they hop left and right real fast, and it extends that boost. So that's how, like, if somebody's in first place, you'll never catch them, because they have more speed than you.
That's a definite skill. I don't think that's cool, though. I need to practice that, though. That sounds really difficult to do. At least sort of getting the timing down.
I mean, I tried it, and I mean, it's not too bad if you're on a straightaway. I mean, it's pretty easy on that, because you can just hop real fast. But the problem is, like, all these people doing those time trials and stuff, they'll be like mid-turn, and they hop left and right, but still go in the right direction. So it's definitely a skill thing. So I still call people cheaters when they use it. But, I mean, it's a skill thing. So if they wanted it in the game, it's kind of cool if you could perfect it. I mean, someone should deserve to win if they can do better, but it's still really annoying when you can never get first place.
In freaking competitive games, there's always another element that's always added into these things.
Yeah, I mean, I crushed some races, and then I look at the time trials, and the guys are like 15 seconds ahead of me. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting stuff like that. I mean, it seems like I didn't expect the game to be so complex, because there's really a lot with like the drifting and the timing and all the turns. It reminds me, like, I used to play Gran Turismos all the time, and you just keep shaving seconds off your time.
All right, so back to the items. We have the blooper, which I think is way more effective than it's ever been before. Which I think was it in Mario Kart Wii?
Yeah.
And Mario Kart 7.
I think it might have even been in Mario Kart DS.
It might have been.
I think it was.
But in those games, from playing them at least,
it was the most pointless item ever. Yeah.
But in this game, it's thrown me off so many times, because it's like, you have the perfect drifting parts. Like, there's still a lot. It just comes down to whether you know the track well enough. But I think it actually does something in this game, at least. It's still an annoying item to get, because it doesn't really help the person who's using it, but it's interesting. And also, I'm just going to talk about it now. The piranha plant.
Yeah.
That can actually eat the blooper, which is really
Really?
interesting. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Like, it's rare that you'll ever actually need it to do that and have a piranha plant at that same time, but it just chomps whatever's there. If you have anything... I feel like there was actually a point where Lakitu lifted me up, and then when he dropped him down, I think he ate Lakitu. I'm not sure, though.
Huh.
But
that's cool.
The piranha plant is an interesting item, because a lot of times it can be a hindrance. If it starts eating too many things, it'll throw off your drifts and you'll go too fast. I've had that problem a couple of times, but other than that, it's really satisfying to like chomp on people. It just seems like they're always out of reach for me, though.
See, that's the thing, man. I think it's really similar to the, I don't know, the tail in Mario Kart 7, where it's like, I get it, but there's no one to hit, so it's like, what's the point? I mean, I guess you get the boost, but I would rather have a mushroom or a star or something.
Yeah. But the Tanuki tail in Mario Kart 7 is way worse. It's like the worst item they've ever done. Because it literally was only effective when you were right next to another person, because it just twirled around you. So basically, whenever you got the item, I would just spam it as much as I could to waste it. and
Well,
get
one
another
thing
item.
that I like about like wasting items is that with the boomerang, you could just throw it and then get a new block and it wipes it out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Oh, another thing with that they've changed from past games is you used to be able to, when you hold an item behind you, you used to be able to pick up another one. Or
Oh yeah, that's right.
when you had a green shell ring, you used to be able to pick up another item, and you can't do that anymore.
What? So you could have a. What would it do? Just replace it when you got it?
You could
No.
have like a star in reserve while you have a green shell ring, and then once you use your 3 green shells, then you could use the star right after.
Oh, that would suck. For well, all except for the person who has it. But yeah.
It's interesting. I think it was better the way they do it now, though.
Yeah, it probably is.
So another one of the older items is the bomb, which is obviously simple, but those are really satisfying to like snipe people every now and then with a bomb. I know you had
They're kind of hard to use, but when you hit someone, it feels good.
yeah,
And you can
Especially-
use it behind you, which is nice.
yeah, especially when you like know it's gonna make a difference. Like you're right at the end, you chuck a bomb at like whoever's in first place. Like it takes a lot of skill to be able to aim that.
Oh
I've actually been able to do the same thing with a banana peel, which is really it's really difficult to do.
That's like
but you can-
impossible.
but you can, I've been able to snipe people before just throwing it forward.
Yeah, it
That-
feels
that-
good, right?
That's way more satisfying than a bomb ever is.
Yeah.
It's like you just got hit by a banana peel, not behind you.
It does feel good.
I've actually done it like in the air before, where they'll be like slightly above me, and I'll just chuck it up, and it'll just get wiped out in the air.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really difficult the placement of it, but
You got some nanner skills.
the thing with this game is if you're over one of those gaps where you're flying down in your parasail, it's brutal when you get like shocked out of the air.
Oh yeah.
The lightning bolt is another item, and that is way too frequent in this game. I
Yeah.
think.
People complain about the blue shell. I've always thought the lightning was even worse. I can't stand it because like the problem is you'll be in first and they added the horn item so you can protect yourself against the blue shells. But if someone gets lightning, it's like, well then I lost the horn. What's the point? Like there's so many like
Yeah.
I don't know parts with it where it screws me over so many times or you'll fall off and I can't stand it.
It's another element of random chance is that it won't affect anyone who's just riding along because obviously everyone's being affected by it. But if you're above a gap, that just ruins your game and only your game. So that sets you back.
Yeah, that's a weird item because like the one person who uses it benefits, but usually they're so far back that it's not too bad. But it's like weird for the people who are up front. If somebody has like a star or something like that,
exactly.
it really screws everybody over. And then also like if you're in a drift or something, you'll get knocked out of that. And then also, well, I mean, you lose all your items, but then it's weird right after that. It's hard to determine when you'll be able to drift again when you're small.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. Like I'll keep trying to drift and it doesn't work, so it screws up all my turns, and it's just like an awkward.
It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
When you get small, it's just like, okay, this is just unenjoyable. I know we're all experiencing this slow part of the game now. It's just drifting is really awkward when you're small. It's just almost not worth it when you're small. But
And I feel like it doesn't help anyone who's like in last. Like you're not gonna. At least I haven't really caught up to people if I ever got it. Like I don't know, you know.
It'll bring you from like 9th to maybe 7th.
Yeah.
if you're in frantic mode and you're like 4th or 5th, that really makes a difference. I've noticed. But if you're in the end, it won't.
Another thing that I noticed, because I figured it out because that one Inazuma guy beat me because of it. And we were like right next to each other when the lightning went off. And he ended up beating me from behind while we were both still small. Or no, we turned big right before the end of the race. And what he said he did is he held his drift through until he got bigger, and the boost is bigger when you're a bigger character.
Oh my god.
So I used my boost when I was little, and he used his boost when he was big, and he like flew past me. So there's like all kinds of weird stuff with the lightning that I don't even get.
these Major League Gaming tactics.
I know that guy pisses me off.
He's so MLG.
The bullet bill is another item that they definitely nerfed it from Mario Kart Wii, where it was really cheap, and it's still pretty cheap in this game. That's just the worst feeling in the world is when you're in like 5th place and then someone passes you with a bullet bill like last second.
Yeah.
Puts you in 6th because you know they literally put no effort to get to that spot. It was literally the bullet bill literally controlled them to take them there. So it's like I don't like those items that don't have anything to do with skill. But
Yeah, and what's the deal with? I don't know how all the items really work, because I almost never get bullet bills, and it's like, is there a specific place that you have to be in to have a chance to get that, or how does it really work? Do you guys know?
I think it's like when you're in the past. I don't know. I think it's like 6th place and down. I want to say. I'm sure there's like a count. Sure, there's a place count.
That's what I was thinking. Like if you're in 6th through 9th, you have a chance at items, and then if you're in like 10th through 12th, you'd have a chance for, more of a chance for those.
I wonder if there's just varying like degrees of probability. Like I wonder if there's a super rare chance that if you're in 1st place you can get a bullet bill. It's like a 1 in a million chance or something.
Dude, how hard would you laugh if that happened? I mean, seriously, I'd be howling.
Yeah, I got a star in like 3rd place
Yeah, same here.
before, I feel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I think it might have been on frantic mode.
maybe.
Maybe.
That definitely makes a difference, but I don't know.
If you're ever in 1st and you use a bullet bill, I'm gonna flip out.
Yeah, you'll just like save it until you get into 1st. Just savor it.
The last old item that they brought back is the blue shell, which is technically called the spiny shell by Nintendo, but no one calls
the
it
blue.
that.
No,
Yeah.
it's like the blue spiny shell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like it's a lot less frequent than it was before. Like it's still,
Yeah. Well, I didn't play the old one. It doesn't seem like it's I always thought there would be like one every race or something.
It's still annoying when you're in 1st and you're like in the last stretch and you literally just have to cross your fingers on whether or not a blue shell will make you not in 1st.
Yeah.
Because like it's always an element of random chance when you're in 1st. But yeah, it's not as bad, and especially since the other new item, the super horn, is able to undo it.
Is that a brand new one that's never been in one before?
Yeah, it's new.
What do you guys think of that one?
It's all right. Like I feel like it's the equivalent of having like one green shell, maybe something. It's like between green shell and red shell, and how it's actually usable. I've never actually stopped a blue shell, but I have stopped like red and green and pretty much anything else that came towards me.
I was
So-
able to do it with a blue shell a couple times, but it's interesting because it's like there's a certain timing you have to get down too. Like you can either look behind you, have to be looking behind you to see where it is, or you can just like wait for a certain amount of time after you get the warning for blue shell.
Well,
Jeez,
you know
interesting.
what I found out? I was doing that too, and I was trying to figure it out. The blue shell is super easy because you just have to wait until you see it on your screen above your head, and then you use it.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting there trying to check out where the blue shell and where the red shells were. I mean, the red shell, it's really hard to kind of time that, but the blue shell, I was originally looking behind me trying to see when it was coming.
Yeah.
And, that sucked.
It's still fun when you're like next to someone, you can use it to hurt them too.
Yeah. Especially if you get one like right in the beginning and you just wipe out 5 people.
Yeah, because it's a huge clutter. I feel like that's when it's most common too, is
Yeah.
in the beginning. Like I remember one person in your stream said he got hit by like 5 of those in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh man. It's funny. Well, it's weird how much the very beginning of the race actually matters. Because if somebody gets in 1st or 2nd place,
Yeah.
they sometimes can just keep on going, and nobody can ever catch them if they don't get a blue shell or something good.
Especially if you're playing bananas only.
I know wasn't that a horrible idea?
Yeah, I told you from the beginning, and then
I know you did.
you
I
wanted
thought it was
to
gonna
do
be fun. I thought they were gonna keep piling up on the map, but they disappeared.
Yeah, that would have been better. Especially if you if they had like some smaller tracks in this game, that'd be cool. Like really enclosed ones, so that there'd just be like tons of items all over the place.
That was funny because you're like, dude, this is a terrible idea. And I'm like, no, it's gonna be awesome. And then after the first race, I'm like, this sucks. We still have to play 3 more.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And the last item of the game is the Crazy 8.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I found that it's almost not even worth trying to aim anything. I just spam it all at once.
So do I.
Because it wrecks everyone around you, and then you just speed along with the star. But it's interesting that people can grab your items, and like a lot of times if you're really close to a bunch of people, they'll set off your bomb and like take your star. You just get screwed over from your own item.
Now, the question is, okay, so if you go in, let's say I have a Crazy 8, and somebody flies into me and hits the bomb, it would blow them up, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you were in this, were you in the stream when that happened to me?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I actually had no idea what happened. I had the Crazy 8, and then I blew up from a bomb, but the person who hit me didn't. So my guess is they came in and hit the star and then hit the bomb, screwed me over, and sped off into the distance.
That's the best like stroke of luck you can get. You're just like sitting there like, ooh, free star.
That's what I always do. Every time I see someone with like mushrooms or something hovering around them, I always like run into them and get it.
You mooch off of their mushrooms and anything.
I do that all the time.
That's also what becomes annoying is when people come from behind and just smash you with like green shell rings and stuff like that.
And I looked it up. The bullet bill comes, it's 6th place to 12th place. So that's when you get that. All those like good items, it's always going to be 6th place and back. It says Bomb is 4th to 8th. And this is weird. It says that green shells and red shells are, no, just green shell is 1st to 3rd place. Red shells are 2nd to 8th place.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
That's weird.
Wait, green's, would you say green is what, 1st to 3rd?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's like the triple.
Oh, it seems like I don't know, it seems like you get them so often.
Yeah, you do.
Huh.
Yeah, maybe it is for the triple.
Yeah, the triple, it says it's 2nd to 8th place for both sets. So that might be it.
Wow.
Huh.
Which I don't know. I'll have to pay attention now. Yeah, I mean, I could see that because usually if I'm using green shells, I'm using them more for defense than offense.
Right.
A lot of the time, but that's still weird.
Well, it's probably because if you're in those lower places, you're going to get to, well, you're probably going to get like stars and stuff, you know? So you probably just don't really think about it. Huh.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So what are some of your guys' favorite tracks in the game? Are there any like standout ones or things worth mentioning in any of the tracks?
Yeah, there's a lot. So, I mean, my favorite one, at least my favorite of the new ones, is definitely Cloud Trap Cruise, where it's one you were referring to before, Dinky, with like the chain. It's so awesome. Then you're just like looking at the clouds, and they look so cool because it's not like the typical like video game clouds where it's just part of the background. Like they have these models for them where it looks like you're racing on like fluff or like or like a pillow or something.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. I've never really seen anything like that graphically. And then like the music is so good, where it's from Mario Galaxy. I love it
once
so
they
much.
play that Cloud Garden song, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's probably one of my favorite songs from video games.
Oh, same here. I listen to it all the time.
I love that in the credits song from Super Mario Galaxy 2. And they like use that song in it. And like I know exactly when you're talking. I think it's right when you get to this. I think it's in the second part of the map or whatever. It just switches over to that song. It's awesome. Yeah. That's like reason enough. I'm terrible on that map, but I still like playing it because of that.
Oh, I like it because there's so many like little things, like when you're getting to the finish line, and then there's that leaf you can get on top of and just cut over that huge turn.
Yeah, which I never do.
Yes.
See, I always do it. I've never had issues with it, but I see everyone falling off.
on Dinky's stream, Me and Mikey's Monarch were both going over that shortcut at the same time, and I just pushed him off mercilessly.
That was awesome.
It was the last lap, and he was like in second place.
Yeah, you both were in first and second, and I was in third, and I'm like coming up behind you, and I just see somebody fall off. I didn't even know who it was, and I was like cracking up.
He was probably in like eighth or lower because everyone was right there at the end.
Oh man, that was good.
He was first of all, I was Koopa Troopa and he was Wario, and I just pushed him off. I don't know how that worked for me.
Especially from my point of view, because I just saw somebody fall off. I'm like, I know how mad they are.
I was scared for my life going over that leaf because I knew it was either him or me.
Yeah. And what'd you say you were you both heavy characters?
No, I was Koopa Troopa and he was Wario.
Oh, that's weird. You must have just turned it better.
Yeah, I somehow got him.
Should have knocked you off.
I know. I think I just like kind of rammed into him.
Yeah.
And he just didn't even notice me, I don't think, until he fell off.
That's great. Then I got second.
And I think we can all agree that there's no bad map in this game. There's no bad track. I love playing on them all.
I know.
There's just so many good ones.
In other Mario Kart games, there was always like a couple tracks that I just dread playing. But this one has definitely gotten the best set of tracks in any of them, I think.
Yeah. I mean, most all the maps, I like almost all of them. The worst one I would probably say is that desert one. I can't stand that.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
No.
No, I'm the only one that likes that one.
Really?
Yeah,
That's the only one that stands out. Not that I don't even. I mean, it's not even to the point where I would say I don't like the map. It's just one of those where it's like I don't get excited to play that one. Most of the other ones I get kind of excited for.
See, that's a remake of the Double Dash track. That's the one that I really grew up with. That's the one I always really loved. So to see like a GameCube one, it's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to play it.
Same here,
it's like
but
Sherbert Land.
Still not one of the best though. That one and Sherbert Land are not one of the best. I didn't like the whole hot spring thing they added in there either. I feel like it kind of slowed it down, having to go up those like little
mountain thing or like molehill things.
Yeah, the things that come from the water that push you up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like the yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I never go over those.
Slows you down.
Yeah, I never go over those either. I always go over the big bump.
Like ant hills or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
levels are pretty neat.
Yeah, another one that I thought was a weird choice to bring back as a retro track was the Tick-Tock Clock one from DS.
Yeah, that was I mean, it's not bad. Like none of these are bad, but
at least
that's
that
one I
just
really would choose. Yeah.
See, I really like that one. It's not my favorite or anything, but I like that one.
I always do really well in that because it's like there's not many places you can really screw up on there, but
yeah, except going for the jump at the end with the clock. I miss that all the time. I don't even go for it hardly ever anymore.
Yeah.
Man, even some of the music for these tracks, like I always think about like the Sherbert Land music and the Rainbow Road 64 music. It's
that
so good. Just how
Sherbert Land?
It's Sherbert Land. I don't care if it's called Sherbet. No, I'm gonna call it Sherbert. I've always called it. For over 10 years, I've called it Sherbert Land. So I'm not gonna stop now.
So the one that was my favorite track for a long time was the it wasn't really even because of the track itself, it was because of like the whole environment and the music with it. And that's Electrodrome. That's the one that's playing all the dubstep music and all that. That techno. But that one was really cool because it's like all the lights are going, they're flashing, and then there's these platforms that you go down before the whole paragliding thing. They make noises and those are really cool. You light up a path. It's cool.
Yeah, I would say that one might actually be my favorite one. I really like it. I think it's really cool. I mean, how the music changes and like the music changes so drastically between different stages and stuff too that it's really neat. And then the small sections where it's like you're on it's like an equalizer, kind of like you're turning around the turn and you can see under your wheels it turns pink and stuff like that, and the music changes with it. It's really cool.
What do you guys think about? Oh, sorry. What was that?
I was just saying that's where they have like the most boosts for a track, like all those different boosts throughout the thing. So you're just going constantly really fast. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but what do you guys think about this game's Rainbow Road? Because I know that's the big track that everyone like. I would almost say looks forward to, but
Yeah,
it's
it was okay.
different. Yeah, it's different.
I feel like didn't really do that much unique. I still actually enjoy the N64 Rainbow Road that they have on here more. I feel
I think I would agree with you. I think I would.
the Rainbow Road they added is still pretty cool because it's really satisfying when you make all those turns and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like. I'd probably still say I like the N64 one more. I like that one on here, but there's some cool things with the new one. Like they have like cool jumps that you can make. You just like launch off the side and you can take
Right.
shortcuts like jumping off of them. It's kind of neat. So I mean, I still like the other one more, but they're pretty good. Like in the beginning, I would get so mad at those, but once you figure out the turn, and as long as you don't get mushrooms and stars, you're all good.
The one problem I see with the N64 one is that I feel like whenever it's close to the end, I barely notice before it's actually the end of the race. It feels like it goes by really quickly.
It
Because
does.
It's one of those tracks that's like 3 different parts and not 3 laps. So there's an actually definitive end, like with Mount Wario too. But
Yeah,
it feels
you-
like probably
you-
shortest.
Almost never pass somebody at the like.
Yeah, you
last
can.
lap. It's
Like
so hard.
you can't throw like green shells that actually go down to the ground and they don't go forward like with red shells in
Yeah,
the air. So I had like 3 green shells and I could see them in sight. I was just like so badly wanted to throw them at them, but I couldn't.
yeah, it's tough to come back on that one, and it is so short. So by the time, I mean, if you're in 8th place, you're not getting first.
Yeah.
Very fair. Although what you mentioned the what was the Mount Wario one?
Yeah.
I kind of like that one. I'm not very good at it, but I kind of like that one. How it's in 3 stages, like you just go straight through
It
and
is
it doesn't
cool.
loop.
Yeah, there's
It's
a lot of
kinda neat.
diversity.
Yeah, once you get through those trees, I get excited. I love that part after that.
Because
It's-
it works for like the whole environment they're doing for that too. Because it's like you get at the end and you do your little like skid stop, like as if you're
Yeah.
doing ski slope. But one of the other map though is, or the other track is probably up there with Electrodrome. For me, is Toad's Turnpike and N64. That's the one with all the cars and the highway and all that.
What, you really like that one?
I really like that one because I feel like it takes it's kind of challenging and it takes a lot of skill to get through that because you have to avoid the cars and then you can go on top of the cars onto ramps and you can go off surfboard cars and at the same time you have to deal with all the items and everything. And there's also an anti-gravity part which seems like most people don't take that.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like it's slower.
Yeah, that one's weird for me
Like,
too, because there's so much stuff that you can do and you can take all the jumps and things like that, but I've found that the times that I win are the ones that I just stay on the inside turn the entire race. And it's kind of like boring to do it that way, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's the fastest way that I've found to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can see that.
How about the Moo Moo Meadows?
That's the one everyone's going crazy about. That's the one my brother always wants to play. I think
I
it's
kind of like it, but it's not my favorite, but
Right.
it's just like kind of funny.
I love how like pretty it looks. Like graphically, that's probably like the best one. Well, one of the best ones.
Oh
And
yeah,
like that sunset and
like the textures on
Yeah.
the cows and all.
yeah, the textures of the
crafts.
cows specifically.
All those cow textures.
How mad do you get when you actually hit a cow?
I know.
Don't you feel like such an idiot? They're so big. You're like, you should see them coming, but they're moving so slow, and then you still hit them. And it's like the
Yeah.
worst thing you can do in the game.
Can you hit the cows with like green shells and stuff?
No,
thought-
they just break on them.
Okay.
If you have a star, it's always fun to bounce them up. Same with like the
In
cars.
Toad's Turnpike, yeah, you just
Cars
like they
on that.
jump.
I
The
bounced
cars jump.
the music.
The music note.
Music.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else too? I went into the on the clock tower. They're the big pendulums. If you hit into one of them with the star, instead of it swinging left to right, it swings like back and forth. And you could just smack into it, and you just drive right through it, and it swings.
Wow.
the other way. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then what's the other? Yeah, I hit the music notes. And the one thing that I've always wanted to do, and I haven't done it yet, I want to see when Bowser slams his hand down. What happens if you hit them with a star? I don't know if either of you have done it, but I've tried and I've come so close.
I want to
I've
see.
never actually done it.
Yeah, I want to see like an outsider's perspective, like seeing the hand just like shot up or something.
Yeah, and see his fist like fly off into the air or something like that.
Just rip off entirely, and then he's gone the rest of the race.
That'd be sweet. Oh man, yeah. Another one that's. I mean, I'm not very good at it, but it might be in my top 3 is the music park.
Yeah,
I really like that one. Like when you're moving around on the piano keys and all that stuff. I really like all that.
Yeah, that was like a fan favorite from Mario Kart 7. Everyone loved that track.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I like all the music ones too.
It's pretty unique because they all like the different platforms you go on set off different music. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and one of the cool things that's all Nintendo games. I mean, they always incorporate music into all their games, and like all kinds of stuff always changes, like how they play through. Like in this, I guess they just different phases of the race they do that. But there are things like in like the Super Mario Galaxies, the songs will speed up and slow down in the middle of depending on how well you're doing and everything, and it's like real subtle stuff that you don't really notice too much. But Nintendo has always thrown in music stuff in their games.
Yeah. Also, another thing with the tracks in general I like in this one, it seems to be a lot different from before, is that a lot of the tracks actually change as you go through the laps, not only the music, but the tracks themselves. Like they did that a little bit with like Grumble Volcano on the Wii, which they have on here.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like Swamp Ruins, where you can actually go through the middle.
That's kind of annoying that it only opens up at the 3rd lap, though.
I think it does with the second one, too. I think that the second one there's a chance, maybe. I think that's what it is.
You're in the back.
Yeah, maybe it's because I'm in the front all the time and you're in the back.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Even though I won like 4 times in a row.
Yeah, but I looked at our score. You can click on the people that you played with, and it shows how many you've won against them, and it was like 24-22 or something. It was really close.
Did you look at ours?
Yeah.
What is it?
I forget exactly. I think it was like 52-39 or something.
Who's ahead? Probably you, because I sucked in the beginning.
Yeah, it was me, but I feel like it's closer now. It might have been before we played the last set, so I don't know.
I was so bad. I wish everyone could see that. I was so terrible. Oh man. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other maps. One that never really. Well, there's one that I really like, and I always call it the Call of Duty map. It's at Sunshine Airport.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of that Call of Duty map in the airport every single time.
Such a weird fit for like a Mario universe.
I know, right?
Sunshine Airport.
Yeah, I do love how that jet like flies over you and stuff. That's a fun race.
Yeah, I like that one. Just because it's reminiscent of Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, it is.
At the same time, the water park level is kind of reminiscent of Mario Sunshine too. So maybe they're hinting at Mario Sunshine HD, I'm hoping.
Who knows?
Crossing my fingers. I want Mario Sunshine HD.
I want a new Mario Galaxy.
We don't need a new Mario Galaxy.
We absolutely need a new Mario Galaxy.
We can always get more Galaxy.
I mean, I love Mario Galaxy too, but I think it's just time we have something different.
Oh, I could play those all the time. That actually, I think Mario Galaxy 2 actually bumped out Super Mario Brothers 3 as my favorite.
Actually, I have a question for you, Dinky. I remember on the All Gen Gamers podcast, and this was back in like 2010 or something, you said Galaxy 2 is your favorite game of all. Whoa, was it favorite game of all time or something? Or
not all time.
Not all time. Okay.
It was probably up there. My favorites are always Zelda 1 and Zelda 2.
Okay.
But it's definitely up there. I mean, I might put it in like a top 5 or something. But yeah, I love it. I mean, I like Super Mario 3 was always my favorite. I mean, because I played that when I grew up, and I always loved that one. And then Super Mario Galaxy 2, like, I don't know, the music's so good. It's one of my favorite soundtracks, and I could just listen to it all the time. So I love that. So I'll take that over a Sunshine.
Yeah. I didn't know like what your thoughts were on Mario 3D World. I was just curious how you thought about that compared to like the Galaxy games.
I really like them, but they're. I mean, I would put them in like a category below.
Yeah.
You know, like a big step down. But I mean, they're still a blast to play. I have a lot of fun. I go through and I get like all try and finish everything up. But I don't know. I mean, I buy almost every one that comes out, but Galaxies are just a whole. They're just a whole.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, and it's weird because the music in the Galaxies seems so much better than on all the other games that they put out. So I don't know what the deal is with it, but
There's so many like classic songs I can think of. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. With 3D World, I felt like they're trying to make more of like a. I don't know. It's just a very different style because I think they had a different composer. Maybe there was something weird like that.
yeah.
So.
And then even like the new Super Mario Brothers, I mean, those are totally different too, and I think that's a cool. I mean, I have a lot of fun with them because they're a different style of game, and I mean, if you play them co-op, they're an absolute blast. But as far as like just single player, I don't even think they compare.
Online
Oh
co-op.
no.
Online co-op. New Super Mario.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, I'd love it. Yeah, especially now, like all my friends, they don't like my friends around where I live. They don't play any games hardly at all. So the only way I'll be able to play is like with my cousin. He lives down in Louisville and stuff. So online would be really nice in those.
I
But
think it would be cool if there was like a random like co-op, just some random person like in Borderlands or something, because you can like troll each other, and
You
I'm
know
sure
how
like
bad
you
that
get the
would be, though? They would
trolls.
just
And...
be killing you the whole time. Every single person you
Yeah.
meet. So you wouldn't get past the first level. But I don't think Nintendo's ever gonna incorporate online into most of their games. I think they're just banking on us constantly playing Splatoon online forever.
Yeah.
well, they should because they don't let people talk to each other. So it's not like they can trash talk like in Halo. You know, you'd see Nintendo saying, "Oh no, we can't have that kind of problem," but you can't communicate with anybody. So
Okay,
just
yeah.
let them play together.
We'll ban you if you select someone on Smash Bros and target them specifically.
Yeah, don't you like how in the default options for the chat options during the lobbies, there's like nothing bad.
I know.
Oh, I know.
What if you just put in there, "I hate you" or something?
Kill yourself.
Dude, that'd be the best.
But they just say it with a smile on their face and just like that would have been
And
nice.
then you like talk to each other and like hug each other in the little
They
plaza.
they all clap after they lose.
They really should have like a "you suck" option. Like
Yeah, something at least somewhat aggressive.
like a thumbs down. Just
Yeah,
a thumbs down.
like I'm going to kill you and all your family members.
Whoa. Yeah.
Oh, I would probably be giving you that a couple
They're
times.
just be able to like say in the message like "I'm coming for you, Dinky.
Yeah.
You're next."
Oh man, that would be nice next time. Dude, we have some close races on there. It'd be
Yeah, I
nice.
know.
Well, I guess we have the stream chat, but still, if when you're playing online with people, I mean, it's so nice with the stream because I can communicate with everyone. But without that, it's such a you can't communicate with anybody that you're racing. It's not personal at all, so it's not as cool.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we covered enough. So do you want to just like talk about what's your general overall thoughts on the game? Positives,
sucks.
negatives. Positives, negatives.
It's an awesome game. It's hands down the best Mario Kart. Only downside is battle mode. Battle
Oh, yeah,
mode
we
is
talked
basically
about that,
non-existent. So
Yeah.
Battle mode is the worst mode of the game. Like I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, it's weird because I was hoping it would be like Crash Team Racing and stuff. I don't know how the older ones were in this, but were the old battle modes way better than?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because in this
Especially
game it's
Double
like
Dash.
racetracks. Like in the previous games, they had like arenas that you just fight in, so you're constantly seeing everyone because they were a little bit more compact. And then there'd be like jumps everywhere and just places to hide. But in this, it's like you might see a couple people just racing by, but that's it.
Literally the entire track. You don't want to go through the entire Yoshi's Valley N64 track to find people.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Like on when we were playing it in our lobby at the end, when I had a room, there was just like the final people, and they were just wandering around for like the past 3 minutes trying to find each
Yeah.
other. couldn't find. And also, when you turn into a ghost and you can just sabotage people's games, that's a little BS too. But
Yeah, I'm surprised they have that in there.
because literally, you can just choose who you want to attack, and
I feel
you
like
can't
they
do
rushed
anything
it
about
out just to get a game out on the Wii U. I feel like they just, all right, guys, we got our 32 tracks. All right, let's just put the game out. Let's just not worry about battle mode. They don't need it. It could be DLC later. I feel like that's like what they did. I don't know.
it.
You
To
know?
bring back like the Shine Sprite and the bomb
Yeah, there's so
modes
many
from Double
modes.
Dash.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's been awesome. Remember the bombs? You're just
Yeah.
stacking to the sky.
Because yeah, they would give you like 10 bombs and just you throw them everywhere.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Dinky, what are your overall thoughts, positives and negatives?
Well, first, I mean, I'm very impressed with it. I mean, I wasn't sure what to expect coming in, but it's so much more complex, and especially going through and figuring out from completely sucking to being able to actually get like first through third a lot of the time. There's so much stuff that goes into the steering and like all the drifting and everything. So I was really impressed with that. It makes it a lot more fun than just. I mean, it seems simple when you just look at it from the outside, but when you're actually playing, it's pretty complex. So, I mean, I'm obviously. I mean, you've seen me stream it. I streamed it probably for like 30 hours the first week that it came out.
Yeah.
Maybe not that much, but definitely a lot. So, I mean, I've been having a lot of fun, and it like I just started streaming too, so it was a perfect game to come out with that, so I could play online with everybody, and it feels like you're just kind of sitting on the couch with people, you know, playing like we used to on the old games.
Yeah.
And the other like drawback stuff, I mean, I guess it's just kind of like somewhat of the online stuff, like how to connect with people. You know, if I want to invite people into a game, that kind of stinks.
Yeah.
But
You can't even invite people, can you?
Yeah, no, you can't at all. So, I mean, that's more of just like a Nintendo console thing rather than the game. But, I mean, it's not. I haven't really found any maps that I didn't like, and I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with. I'm definitely glad I picked it up, and I mean, it's awesome.
So for me, yeah, I agree with you guys. I agree with Cole. It's the best Mario Kart game to date. Mario Kart Double Dash was great, but this one just overall has like refined everything, and the gameplay just feels so smooth. You feel like the most in control that you've ever been for a Mario Kart game. And they have a bunch of great tracks. They added great new items. Different paths, how they change the tracks, I think is really cool. How there's different ways you can go through the races. And it's more skill based, more balanced. And there's awesome music. Some negatives were the highlight reel is gimmicky. There's a functioning but very sloppy online. I didn't like we talked about this. I didn't like the car customization that much, but you guys did.
Yeah.
And the battle mode was a huge oversight. There's stupid character decisions. The voice chat only being allowed in the lobby is stupid. And there should be more customization options for races, like choosing all the items, like you said before. And maybe some more creative game modes would be nice, because they've just been sticking to like the conventions of Mario Kart for a while. Maybe add more new things, even stuff like the different battle modes they had in Double Dash would be cool. Like how they had the Shine Sprite battle and the bombs, but they could do some cool stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah,
10
so
out
it
of
just
10.
sounds like a couple nitpicky things. So
10 out of 10 would play again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Absolutely.
It's definitely going to be my most played Wii U game soon.
Yeah, I mean, even for me, I mean, I basically going from my Wii U collecting dust to that's all I've played for probably the past month. And then with E3 coming up, so many games are going to be coming out. I mean, this was a really good boost to get everyone hyped up for the console and kind of get things rolling for them a little bit.
Yeah, it's my second most played Wii U game. You guess what the first is?
Wii U Street View, powered by Google Maps.
Yes. I just look at people's houses all day.
Oh yeah.
I just put your address that I found in there, and I just sit there and hope something happens. But no, any ideas?
3D World.
Nope.
Super. No.
Nintendo Land.
Nope.
Oh, Donkey Kong?
Nope.
I don't know.
All right, it's Disney Infinity.
What?
I'm up to 70 hours now.
Jesus, that's such a random game too. I thought you said you weren't like super into it.
Well, I'm back into it.
Okay.
I was really
think
into
so.
I was really into it in the beginning.
The addiction is back.
And then it just kind of wore off, but I'm back. I'm back. I finished the Toy Story in Space playset today, actually. And I have every Disney Infinity figure to date, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're gonna be collecting all the amiibos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And, but it's really bothering me that Disney Infinity 2.0 is just all Marvel heroes, basically. I'm gonna have to get a Spider-Man play set. I don't know. I want more Disney, but. So do you guys want to do games we've been playing recently?
Yeah, we can do it real quick.
Sure.
All right, Cole. What
All
have you
right.
been playing?
So this is weird. All right, so I started playing Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles on the GameCube. Not for any real reason, just I felt like playing it, I guess. So I started at like about 11ish after I got home from work and just sort of chilled out for a little bit. I played this game, I kid you not, until 6:30 in the morning. I somehow sunk in like 7.5 hours into this one game. I was just,
Now, did you know that it was 6:30 in the morning, or did it?
no, I didn't. I was just like playing, just going through dungeons, and
The light came up, right? The sun
yeah,
came.
pretty much. And
That's
then I
awesome.
looked, yeah, then I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go to bed. Let me check my schedule to see when I should set my alarm for, because I was like, all right, well, I probably work, 4 to 9 or 5 to 9, and I was like, oh crap, because I work 10 to like 4 or something, 10 to 5.
Did you stay up?
Yeah, I just stayed up. So,
That was
I,
probably a rough day.
oh yeah, I accidentally pulled an all-nighter.
You're probably thinking about Final Fantasy all day.
No, I was thinking like, man, I can't wait to get home to play more Final Fantasy. Yes. So I've been playing that, and I've been playing I've been playing my Wii U a lot, just because Mario Kart, where I'm like, all right, I'm going back to Wind Waker. I'm just trying to like collect everything, because I'm on New Game Plus or whatever it's called, and I'm just trying to get like all the heart pieces, all the locations, treasure maps, stuff like that. I just kind of want to get everything, and man, because this is the first game or the first time I played that game on my new TV that I just got in my room, and it looks so good. I can't believe that was a GameCube game, because it looks just as good as I don't know any of the other Wii U games or 360 games that I've played. It looks so amazing. And I mean, other than that, I've been playing some Pikmin 3, it's a lot of fun, but I need to put more time into. I'm only like 2 or 3 hours in, and that's it. I will say though, I actually just picked up Xenoblade Chronicles. It was at my GameStop for $50, and because I'm the rewards member, I'm able to get like $5 off, and I had a coupon too for $10 off. So I got a really
Nice.
good deal on it. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Deal on what?
Huh?
A
Oh,
deal on what?
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Sorry, I had to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did hear that. You told me about that.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty excited.
So
'Cause
which one did you get as the reward for your Mario Kart?
I got Pikmin
Sure.
3.
Yeah, okay. So you bought the actual hard copy of the Wind Waker?
Yep, I have the GameStop one, and I also have the download one too, because it came out 2 weeks earlier for download. So I'm like, well, I'm not just gonna wait if it's available to me. So I'm gonna download that. I'm gonna get the collector's edition, and then just like keep that sealed. So that's what I did, and
lot
I'm
of
probably
money on
still
the
gonna
game.
buy Pikmin 3 when it goes down in price or something, just so I have the copy.
What game
Well,
What did you get?
I got the Pikmin 3 because, I mean, I would definitely love to play the Wind Waker HD, but I know that's a game all the Zeldas, I'm gonna want a physical copy of that, so
Yeah.
I'm Not even gonna get to download one. And
Yeah.
I downloaded Pikmin 3, but I've just been playing Mario Kart all the
I'm
time.
telling
so
you though, as soon as you get to Pikmin 3, I love that game so much. Like so far, I've had so much fun with it. Cause I'm not sure how much experience you've had with the other Pikmin games, but
None.
man, it's such a hidden gem by Nintendo. Cause that's one of those games like people know it exists, but people don't really buy it. I feel like, or they usually don't sell nearly as well as Nintendo's other games. But I love it so much, and it's been
Yeah,
so many years since the last one.
I'm looking forward to playing it because I've never played any Pikmin, so
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with me on these Nintendo games. Like I missed a lot. I was in college and stuff for some of them, so I didn't play a lot of them. But everyone says it's super good, and I figured I'll pick that one up and try it out. I'll
Yeah.
probably stream that sometime.
And I will say too, they allow you to play with the Pro Controller, the gamepad, and the Wiimote. I
Yeah.
only play with the gamepad. Like they made it so much better with it, where it shows the map, and then you can also use it to like navigate your other crew members. So like you can set a waypoint
Yeah.
for them. There's like so many little things that they've done with it. It's so good with it. It's so much better.
It is
So
good
if
for that.
yeah, if you're looking for a gamepad game,
I
definitely try Pikmin 3.
I do like the Wii Remote for the pointer controls. That they work perfectly for Pikmin though. Like the Pikmin 2 new play control, I played that a little bit, and that worked perfectly with the Wii Remote.
Yeah, I'll definitely be getting into that one.
I got a great game with my Mario Kart 8.
We party you.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
We got Wii Party
you
in.
have all those other games already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, other places got more games that you could get. Like I think over in Europe and Japan, you could get like Wonderful 101, and I was really excited to pick that one, but then it wasn't available here.
I'm pretty sure they got. So it was just Monster Hunter they got.
Yeah, they got that too. Yeah, and all those. I mean, I'd really like to play them, but
Yeah.
I was surprised that Donkey Kong Country wasn't available. I would have thought that would be a free one too,
Oh yeah.
you know?
True.
yeah, that would have been neat. Now, for your Xenoblade Chronicles, did you pick that up because you saw the new one at E3?
Yeah, pretty much. Because I was like, well, I'm not gonna get the sequel or whatever without playing the first one. If this is like my only opportunity to get that game for at like a reasonable price, of course I'm gonna get it.
That E3, that looked pretty good, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it did.
And mine, I did the same thing, kind of. I mean, I saw that it was going up in price, and I was like, I mean, I love old RPGs and stuff like that. So I saw it going up in price on eBay and everything, and I saw it at my GameStop, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when I'll play it, but I just kept seeing it going up, so it was one that I didn't want to miss out on, so I just picked it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Because our other co-host, Chronolink, he's like a huge advocate for that game, where he has like over 100 hours into it or something, and
Yeah.
like he beat it. So just for him, just to tell him like, yeah, I got this game. I'm pretty excited to talk. Yeah, like just talk to him about it.
Yeah, I got that
So
like the other week. I was talking about that.
yeah,
That I started playing that. And yeah, I played a little bit more this week, not that much, but I really like it because I'm a big fan of like expansive worlds and everything. And it's pretty much everything you see in Xenoblade is somewhere you can explore. So
Yeah.
even like the first town you go into, you look all around you, and all around the outside of the town you can go and explore. A lot of the stuff is kind of repetitive, like not that much craziness is really hard to explore, but it's still cool, and they have really cool, unique like things that you can do to interact with the townspeople. They're like affinity charts. There's a lot to the game. There's a lot of side quests, obviously, but and a lot of them are just like stupid, pointless ones too. Though, like kill this monster, and then a lot of the townspeople will give you like 5 at once. They'll give you like 5 different quests.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
You'll accept one from them, and then the exclamation mark just pops up again. He's like, okay. He's like, can you kill this monster for me? I'm like, all right. And he's like, can you kill this other monster for me? Okay.
And then like 4 hours later, you realize that you didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. I've made like no progress in that game. I've just been going around doing some side quests, and exploring the place.
Yeah,
So,
it's weird how I mean those things get pretty addictive sometimes though. So you don't actually accomplish anything, but you still kind of feel like you do.
I know. Like I'll probably. This is the type of game I'll put in like 50 hours, and then I'll be like the first town.
And you won't beat it.
I'll never beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be part of your like backlog forever. It's like,
I'm gonna
oh.
tell you. I'll tell you right now. I will never beat Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah.
I don't have the willpower. I'm very impressed that Alec was able to do that. And he was like literally in his older podcast, the users, he was just talking about it like every week for like 5 months. He was talking about playing that game. It was crazy.
See, my problem's the opposite. I have to beat all the games that I play. I get really picky, and I'll just go through and I try and collect all this stuff up, and I finish everything, and I get really anal
You can
about
have fun with that, yeah. I'm really weird in that. Yeah, I try to like do all the side missions and collect everything I see. I'm like obsessive compulsive about it, but then I just won't beat games.
Yeah, I try and like when I was younger, I would go and do all that stuff, and then now I don't have as much time. So you just put it down, and if you put it down for 2 weeks, you're not coming back.
Yeah.
So try and make sure not to do that too much.
Especially in like games like JRPGs, they're so hard to come back to.
Yeah.
After stopping them for a while.
Yep.
It's like every time there's so many games that I go back to. I'm like, oh, gonna restart again. This time I'm gonna beat it. Nope. Not beating it.
Never.
You wander around for a little bit unless there's an arrow telling you where to go. You just put it back down.
Yeah. Where am I? Like in the middle. Like I stopped playing Pokemon in the middle of a dungeon. And that was like the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
I would go back and I'm like, oh, where have I even been? But I did end up beating it, so that's the one rare instance. So yeah, Cole, you were saying, right?
What? Oh no, yeah, that's everything I've been playing.
Oh, nice.
So let me just pass the torch to I don't know, whoever wants to take it.
ZRPG, you want to go?
Let me I got my mouth full of some food.
As you're eating some snacks. Or I could go. I mean, obviously, I've been playing Mario Kart 8 a ton. And then before that, I think the game that I played before that was Hotline Miami. Did you guys see that game at all?
Yeah, I know of it. Yeah.
Heard of it.
It was pretty fun. I was really surprised. I downloaded it on Steam, and I don't really play PC games a ton. I mean, I played like Ultima Online, I played a lot, and then Diablo 3 I was playing. But those are probably the only two main ones. And I downloaded it. It's a top-down kind of retro game, but it still feels modern. And you run around from like somewhat of a top-down view, and you just run around and shoot the crap out of people and like beat people up, and it's somewhat gory, but it's still in that retro style graphics. And it was really cool. Like the soundtrack was nice. It kind of reminded me of that movie Drive. Did you ever see that movie?
No.
The soundtrack was similar to that, but it was a really cool game. If you guys haven't played it, I mean, if you play PC games and stuff, definitely check it out.
I think I have it on Steam. I think I do. So yeah, I'll definitely try it out whenever I have the time to do it.
Yeah, and pretty much all the games. I mean, because you know me. Back when I started YouTube, I was uploading videos like nonstop.
Yeah.
And then I kind of switched over because on YouTube I'd spend like 10 hours playing a game, and then I would spend 15 hours editing a review. So I kind of like What's that?
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, so I would spend all that time, and then I kind of didn't have the time to do that so much anymore, and I got into streaming, and now like it's kind of motivating me to just play games because it records all the footage for me, and I have all that stuff recorded. So like the Hotline Miami, all the other games that I played, I like all the old footage. Twitch automatically records it, so I can go back and watch all the games I've ever played, basically. And then the other two that I beat, I streamed Zelda 1 and Zelda 2. I went through the full walkthroughs of both of those. Those are my two favorite games. So did you guys play both of those?
Totally.
I figured pretty much everyone's probably played all this. I mean, so going through,
Pretty bad.
finishing up all this, and then the one that I just got, I was playing before the stream is Shovel Knight. It just came out today.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh man,
I've heard all about
it's fun. I mean, anybody who has a Wii U, I mean, it's on everything too. I think you can get it on Steam, but definitely pick that game up. It's basically the guy, the team who made it took references from Castlevania, like the original. It's in 8-bit style, so they took ideas from like Castlevania, Mega Man, Zelda's, Mario's, and you could see all that in there. And then they also took ideas from Dark Souls and like UN Squadron. So as you play through the game, it's a side-scrolling platformer, and you collect money and you can upgrade your character and everything. And then when you die, you don't have a set number of lives. When you die, it takes a lot of your money, and then if you make it back to where you died, you can collect your money back, kind of like in Dark Souls. And then you have like infinite lives, but it still makes you not want to die. And it's pretty, it's like difficult, like in like a Dark Souls game in the old NES games. So
challenging as Kirby's Epic Yarn, because that's one of the most difficult games I've ever played. The fact that you can't die was like one of the most challenging elements I've ever seen in the game.
normally I hate games that you can't actually like run out of lives, but this one it's really hard. So I mean, just losing your money, you feel like it's really bad. So, but yeah, definitely check that one out. I mean, it just came out I think today, so it's like $15, but I think it's worth it.
People are flipping out about it all over the place.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm probably gonna finish it up hopefully tomorrow. I don't know, either tomorrow or Saturday. I'll probably play it more. But that's pretty much all. In one other game, I beat Jacko on the NES. That game, I made it to the boss, and like old Nintendo games, I forgot there were multiple phases of the bosses. So I beat like the second phase, and I thought I won, and I put my hands up in the air, and then I died.
Sort of, yeah, sort of like in Bionic Commando with like I think it's like Hitler or something. You have to like shoot like right after the boss or something like that.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I've really been playing. Mostly, it's just been Mario Kart like nonstop.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, Mario Kart for me, mainly. I got back into that. Like, I actually stopped playing for a couple days. That was a huge drought of not playing Mario Kart. Like 1 to 2 days. And then I was back. But I also went back just today. I was on a binge playing a bunch of games because I had literally nothing to do today. Like, I'm going to be going back to work soon, but right now I'm just playing games while I have the time. So I went back and I played our favorite Paper Mario game, Cole. You know what it is?
Paper Mario Superstar.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went back. I'm gonna give it a fair shot again. I'm gonna try to go through the whole thing.
Oh God.
Because we really didn't like it, but
Oh no.
It's not that it's a bad game. It's just
Eh,
ruins everything.
That's stretching it.
No, it ruins everything about Paper Mario. I'm sure it's a good game if like you don't know what Paper Mario is, but it's just difficult that they have such a perfect formula with Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. And they didn't implement it into Paper Mario Superstar.
Oh, because you have like RPG battles, but then you don't get like any experience. You don't get anything from it. Like that's not a really good game aspect. Like,
Yeah, I
don't
said
know,
around when we first started playing it, I said there's no incentive to battle, so it's not an RPG, and it's not Paper Mario, and plus there's not even like all of the funny dialogue and cool environments that Paper Mario is known for. It doesn't even have that, so it kind of
makes me
loses.
sad thinking about that because I remember being so excited to try it out. Where I just played Kid Icarus, and that's like such a phenomenal game. I'm like, oh, what's the next big 3DS game? So I got Paper Mario, and just right away, like 5 minutes in, I was like, what is this? I was so disappointed.
I'm hoping that a Paper Mario Wii U will be the redemption, but
I don't know. I feel like they're done.
they can't be. If they just go back to the Thousand-Year Door, they know they've heard the people. They know they want Thousand-Year Door style again. But
I don't know.
Like they were making the game in that way, but Miyamoto told them to do something different. So they did Sticker Star. So we have Miyamoto to blame for that. We thought he
Yeah.
could do no wrong. The amazing Project Guard and Project Giant Robot we saw at E3. Just the topping on the cake, the icing on the cake. But I also played more Tomodachi Life. I actually kind of beat it. It considers you to beat it when you have a couple that has a child.
Oh,
And then they have like this montage clip of a bunch of pictures of him growing up.
what I don't.
It's not when you have a child. It's when the child grows up. And then they have like a video. It's really weird.
Huh.
The credits roll.
That's weird.
Sounds pretty weird.
Yeah, Tomodachi Life. I still am not sure if I like the game or not. I'm still not sure if it's a good game.
How
It's
long
just
have
something
you
you play.
What?
How long did you play it?
29 hours?
That is a long time to not know if you like it.
Exactly. I don't know if this is a game or not. Like, I'm
It
not
just
really
seems
sure
like a
what's going on.
decision-making thing, like just
Not
life
even.
decisions.
You're just basically watching people live their lives in an apartment for eternity. But you just put whoever you want in there. You put celebrity me's. You put your friend and family me's. You're in there.
Do you
they
choose
just-
who like you marry and all that stuff? And
So they'll just be sitting there, and then like a heart will appear in their
because
little
like, what
apartment
if you're
window.
what if you have like a me for your mom or something, and just like
I know they did.
you know?
They thought that much through. They
That's
did
how you
think
know
that
that
much
you beat the game.
They did think that much through. They let you set like if they're related to you, and then you can set
Okay.
their age. Like if they're an adult, if they're it's either a grown up or a kid. If they're a kid, they can fall in love with other kids. If they're grown up, they fall in love with other grown ups.
Okay.
So you don't have like
Do
I
you
have
consider
Reggie.
yourself a kid or a grown up? What's
I'm
your
a kid. I'm right on the border, but they put me as a kid. Like it's weird because like seniors in high school, they're like 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds. So they're if you have like one 18-year-old, one 17-year-old, they're completely split up forever. Like you can't have them fall in love. So yeah, like I have Reggie in there in my game.
That's like the worst transition ever.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Love the Reggie.
No, but no, I have Reggie in there, and he is actually married to my sister, so it's a little weird. But like my sister's 24 and he's 53, so.
Does he have like
it's
a
little
QR
weird.
code you can just scan and get his
Yes.
like me?
Yeah, I got him and Miyamoto in there, and I just put Iwata in there. I also have Elsa from Frozen in there.
Okay, whatever.
And then a bunch of my friends, and yeah, that's basically what it comes down to.
That's
I added Alf recently. I added Alf. Do you know who Alf is?
like the old TV show.
Yeah.
How do you have him in there?
There's a
What
QR.
is Elf doing in there?
There's a QR code. I put him in there. I put his age at the highest it could go, which was 114.
Okay.
Even though he's like 300 years old, but yeah, now he'll be interacting with the people, hopefully falling in love with some young girls. That'll be weird. But it's so weird though, because they'll have like weird dreams and they'll just interact with each other. It's really interesting. But yeah, the way you control the love is they'll basically be like, I think I'm interested in this random character. They'll say it in their really weird me voices though, and then you'll be like, great match or nothing special. Say stuff like that. And that'll
Yeah.
like if you literally don't want someone to fall in love with a specific person, you can just shoo them away every time they try. But it's weird.
That would be funny if you did it like by blowing in the mic and then like I don't know, they just get like blown away or that would be funny if they had stuff like that to it where you're just like a god looking over like these people.
Yeah, you basically are though. They're
Pull
like
strings.
that's basically how they treat you though. It's like they call me like Zach's lookalike because you put a duplicate of yourself in there to be a character, but
So you get the best of both worlds.
yeah. But there is like a barbecue, and sometimes it'll catch on fire, and they tell you to blow in the mic.
That's funny. That's so random. I
It
don't
is
know. I
random.
don't even know if I want it though. Like, I want to try
I don't
it,
know if
but
you
like
do
I just
either.
don't know.
I don't know if you do either, dude. I can't tell you any answer.
30 hours later, you'll be like, I don't know if I like this, but I am married to my sister.
What? No, I said you can. You can say that they're your sibling, and they
Oh,
won't
you
let you say
can?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said they can't. I thought you were saying
No,
that's like they should have
no,
done
I
it.
said
Okay.
you can do that.
Man.
What if you're Amish or something? Like, well, I guess you wouldn't be playing the 3DS, would you? So,
It's really weird though, because it was like one of my friends like wanted to propose to my other friend in there, and then they were like, "All right, so like they proposed and they said yes, and then they're like, yeah, we're kids, so we can't actually get married. So can you use this potion to make us adults?" There's like this weird age-o-matic potion that turns kids into adults, and then I gave it to them, and they just like grew a couple inches in height, and they're like, "Oh, I'm an adult now."
that sounds so wrong.
I know.
But they have weird dreams. It's really weird. But you give them gifts. They actually like level up, and you can give them a gift each time they level up, and they can perform songs, which you can customize the lyrics a little bit. You can't do like dirty lyrics. I've tried, but like I tried to name or do different things. Like you give people phrases, like things they'll say when they're mad or they're happy. They'll ask you to give them a phrase. And I just try to make it as like weird as possible as Nintendo will allow me to do it. 'Cause if you just spell things incorrectly, you can still make them pronounce it the same way. So
It's like a weird game.
God.
yeah. So there's that. I also played a little bit more of Animal Crossing New Leaf.
Sounds
Again.
fairly similar.
Yeah. Animal Crossing New Leaf is a lot more. I can say with a lot more definitivity that that's a good game, though.
Yeah.
But that's my most played game on 3DS is Animal Crossing New Leaf. I'm at 90 hours on
Jeez.
that.
Wow.
I'm trying to get to that 100 mark, that hundo. But yeah, right at this point, it's just doing paying off debts and stuff I'm working on. I'm pretty much gonna consider that game beaten once I've paid off all of Tom Nook's debts for my house. And then maybe I could finally have some closure with that game. I also played a little bit of Pilot Wings Resort in the 3DS.
Yeah, what'd you think of that?
It's such a weird game. It's barely a game because you're just they tell you to float around like in your paragliding thing, or you have like a suit that boosts you around. I don't know what that's called, but and then you just aim for targets, just like different goals you do. It's really
Yeah,
weird.
in that one, what did you have to do? You had to like 3-star stuff, right? Couldn't you?
Yeah.
Because I found the game was super easy, but then if you try and 3-star things,
Yeah.
it got more. Felt like you got more out of the game.
You have to do perfectly, like the landings. You have to do a certain way, like start the brake at a certain time and ease in. But you have a certain amount of stars to get you to like the next level of different missions. It was weird.
Yeah, you probably got it for cheap. I got that like day one the 3DS came out.
Man.
Day one.
What's that other submarine one?
Steel Diver.
Yeah.
That, and I actually returned it.
Did you?
Yeah, because I was like, I'll have this game, and it's gonna be. And then I bought it like a couple months later for like $5 at a flea market.
Yeah, I bought it for $5. $5. It was on sale.
Yeah,
So
same
I
here
could see-
actually. Yeah.
What the heck?
It's a lot better like that.
But I never actually have played it yet. That's the only game I still have yet to play out of my 3DS games. But
It was all right. I mean,
Yeah.
for day one, it was like it was cool because the 3D was awesome. But and same with Pilot Wings, I was like, holy crap, this is like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And then now we have all these games, so
Yeah,
it's way
Link
better.
Between Worlds and
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what one I'm still waiting for is Majora's Mask. When are they going to come out with that on 3DS?
They've pretty much announced it, man. Because
Yeah.
like the company that made Ocarina of Time 3D, apparently they said that they're hiring for a new game with Legend in the title, and they
Yeah, but how long's that going to take? I've been thinking about playing like GameCube disc, but I really want to play the 3D one.
I'm thinking that they're just gonna like wait until this year's done or something, or I don't know if they'll announce it because Hyrule Warriors is already coming out this year.
They got a lot of
So,
Zelda going on.
I
So.
think it's just because that they don't. Yeah, there's already so much Zelda stuff coming out, where they just want to wait on the announcement or something. It has to be 2015. It has to be.
Or they'll announce it next E3 and then it'll come out after that. Maybe.
I'm hoping for 2020 release.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I said I was playing Disney Infinity. That was fun. I played with my brother a little bit. And then I also played some last game, I think, is The Wonderful 101, which I played for the Gentleman's Challenge on Pete's Game Room Forum.
How is it?
And it's okay. I played this part before a little bit, but then I never went through it. So I played through it again. And it's better than it was originally, but there's like such glaring flaws. Like there's certain parts where you have to rotate the control stick to do certain moves. They're like special moves that the heroes do, but a lot of times they just don't work because you have to be so precise sometimes. But there was some stuff that bothered me there. And then there's a lot of things they don't explain with the controls and like different parts you have to do in missions. But it's a really cool idea, I think. I'm enjoying it more than I was originally playing.
Yeah, what would be your price point on buying that? What do you think it's worth? Because I don't have it yet, and I thought it was going to be available for the free Mario Kart one, but I'll probably end up picking it up.
I'd say like $20, $25.
Okay.
It's actually how much it is on Amazon. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's actually $23.99 right now.
Yeah, I think it's worth a lot, at least to try for that much, but...
I think there's a demo, too.
Is there? I think
so.
there was, actually. So you might want to do that first.
Yeah,
but, it's like a certain taste, though. It's like a very niche type of game. It's got a lot of personality to it, and it's definitely Pikmin-esque. So maybe Cole would like this game if he likes Pikmin so much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely not going to be able to compare to Pikmin 3, so maybe it'll be hard to go down to this now.
I'll get it. I'll try it.
Yeah, if there's a demo, then do that, because you definitely don't want to waste your money if you're not going to like it. If you're not going to like it in the beginning, I don't think you're going to like it overall. It's just okay to me. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to push through it to beat it, though. So yeah, I think that's all. That's all for me.
Well, since real quick, since you were playing a ton of 3DS games, one I'd recommend is Fire Emblem 3DS. Did you play that?
Yep.
Yeah, you were talking about people marrying each other and stuff and having kids. I was like, yeah, that game was awesome.
Yeah, Cole raved constantly about that upon its release. We had
Dinky. I'm one of those really hardcore like Fire Emblem characters or players.
Yeah.
Where in Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn on the Wii, I have over 1,000 hours.
Wow.
I am so hardcore.
I don't believe 1,000 hours. I don't
yes,
think that's
I do.
possible.
Yes, I do. Believe it or not, I've played.
What can you do for
game.
1,000 hours?
All I would do is I would beat that game, start over, beat it again, start it over, and then like I would beat the entire game with like just random characters. Like, hey, I wonder how these guys will play out in the very end. So I don't know how I did it. I always played that game.
Well, did you play through Fire Emblem Path of Radiance that much?
It's funny because I actually got Path of Radiance after Radiant Dawn, but I mean I've had to have been over like 100 hours, but not as much. But
that's the weird thing in Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. I don't know if there's anything like that in Radiant Dawn, but in Path of Radiance, if you played through it, like there's certain characters you could unlock by playing through it like 8 times. You would unlock like King Astaroth. It was really weird.
Yeah, there's somewhere it's like you have to beat the game like 25 times, and
it's like you really expect. And you unlock like some of the villains during the story.
I like how you're like, you really expect someone to do that. Meanwhile, you have 1,000 hours.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
So is that one that you just like pick up every year and play, or did you do that
You
all
know,
like, in a
when
row?
I first got that game, because that was the very first time I've ever seen the turn-based strategy like formula where I never saw Final Fantasy Tactics as a kid or any of that stuff,
Oh,
and
Yeah,
I was
same.
so intrigued by it. It was so new and refreshing. It's like the very first time. It's like imagine you're like 10 or 12 years old and seeing like a first-person shooter for the first time. It's just that type of experience for me. So as soon as I got that, I was hooked. Where I remember getting it for Christmas in 2007, I think it was. So, yeah, oh man, it's been like 7 years, but I just played it just for months and months on end. Then I would beat it, and then I would start over, just like
Like
that. I
I
loved
had
it.
that same feeling with Path of Radiance when I grew up with that. 'Cause the strategy RPG was new to me too. Obviously, I didn't play 1,000 hours, but it was
I
still
think
like
it's
really
just
one of my
Radiant
favorite.
Dawn is so much more streamlined, where they made it so much
No,
more.
I still prefer Path of Radiance, but
Zach.
it's still Path of Radiance is actually one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
Still, it's definitely one of my favorite GameCube games.
Yeah, and
But
actually, what I was doing before was you can actually transfer the files over. So I was playing Path of Radiance over and over again, just trying to like to get the perfect characters, like the perfect sets, so I can transfer those to Radiant
yeah,
Dawn.
that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
that you could do that. I used to
So,
suck because I was so young at Path of Radiance, and I had like 2 people left alive at the end, so I definitely I was scared to transfer it over because it was like, am I gonna have 2 people left? Hmm.
yeah.
so obviously you'd like Radiant Dawn the most. How do you compare Awakening to it? 'Cause
You know,
Awakening is the first one I ever played.
if this is the first one you've ever played, it's definitely the best to get into. I
Yeah.
think it's a good overall game. Like, I mean, I have 70 hours in it, right? But looking at that compared to Radiant Dawn, it's so different. Where with Awakening, because of the DLC, as soon as you get to like chapter 6, all I did was grind with those, where you can get infinite golds basically. You can get all of your characters max level. Um, you really can just use the DLC to your advantage. Um, but I'm not as into it. Main reason why is because on Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn and all the other games, I've always played on the hardest setting. That's always been my thing. You have to play on the hardest difficulty. And with Awakening, if you play Lunatic, like I was able to do it, right? But Lunatic Plus is so difficult where beating it is entirely based on luck, not skill. Like there's like you're gonna run into a lot of chance things where, all right, you have to get to this enemy, and if he crits you, you know, he has like a 60% chance to crit you, and you'll basically die. If that happens, you have to like start the level over again.
Yeah.
And I can't stand that. Where it's just you have to get like that 40% chance, and there's some things where it's like a 30% chance. It's just so cheap to me where I just don't like that. But if you're going into it new and you're playing on like normal or hard, and you're on like casual mode, it's definitely the best to start out with. But it's not the Fire Emblem experience that I'm really looking for, I guess. But no, I mean, I
Yeah.
still love it though. I still think it's really awesome. It's really fun.
Yeah, I'll probably start going back into them, going back through the series because I like usually the more complex an RPG is, the more I like it. So I
Yeah,
figured
I feel like this
probably
one took a lot of that out.
yeah,
So,
cool.
You Cole, don't you think that in the Path of Radiance to Radiant Dawn that the whole story arc and the characters are like some of the most likable in the whole series?
it's oh yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Like it's
'Cause
really interesting where
I played the Sacred Stones on Game Boy Advance, and I
yeah,
could not connect with any of those characters. They all just seemed like such generic
uh-huh.
foot soldiers. But then when I played Path of Radiance, they grew up with those characters, and then
Uh-huh.
you move into Radiant Dawn, and it's them like years later, along with a whole new cast of characters.
Yeah, so like Dinky, like what they did with those games where you would play Path of Radiance and you can actually unlock like support conversations just like in Awakening. And you would learn about like these little situations the characters get into, like just like three characters would always be talking to each other and building up like relationships and stuff like that. But what was cool is like once you transferred it over, like they would meet back, 3 years later. They would talk about just I don't know, just like life and stuff like that. And there's like a character that actually had a kid, and you actually see the kid like have support conversations with another character from the previous game. So there's a lot of cool stuff like that. Um, and I don't know, I feel like even Awakening loses some of that too.
Yeah,
You know?
I would love there's something about those console games that I like over the handheld ones. I'm hoping I know there's the Shin Megami Tensei across Fire Emblem. I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna play, but a Fire Emblem Wii U game. I'm hoping it returns to that style.
Yeah, I
That'd be awesome.
remember. I remember reading an article where apparently Nintendo made a statement that if Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem sells over, I think it was like 700,000 copies, then that'll be enough for them to justify a new Fire Emblem game on Wii U.
Oh,
So
man.
let's hope that happens.
Dang, this one on Wii is like $70.
I know it's so expensive.
How much is the GameCube
That's,
one?
the GameCube one, I think, is even more. I could be
No
wrong.
way.
I think it's even more.
Wow.
Crap.
Whoa, my God, that's a lot of money.
I feel, yeah.
Holy crap. Oh, man.
Jeez, wow, that's
Market,
more than I
flea
thought.
market. Come on, flea markets. I know I can find it.
No, I
No.
mean I used to see him at GameStop all the time. Like,
Yeah, I always tell people they need to start with Fire Emblem Path of Radiance because the story progresses into Radiant Dawn. But either way, you're putting a lot of
yeah,
money.
either way, like it doesn't matter which one you play first. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn's more streamlined. I think it's a better game to play. But in terms of story, yeah, I would definitely start with Path of Radiance first. But
You have to kind of grow up with the characters, like you're going through with them.
Yeah, that's cool. I kind of like that stuff, so I'd probably go for the
yeah.
Path of Radiance first. Nice. Now I just have to save up $200.
That's easy. That's chump change.
Oh man,
Games these days.
I know, right? They're all going up like crazy.
Yeah, especially Hotel of Dogs on the Nintendo Wii. I see that. I see that at every store I go to is like $0.99. Like that's a quality game.
Hotel of Dogs. I see it.
Yeah, do you own it? Have you purchased it
No,
yet?
I haven't. Not yet. I feel like I should just throw it in one time. Just throw in another $1.
Yeah. Pick at random. There's
Because
a couple dollar games there.
I like licensed games, but that's I can't even handle that.
You know what drives me nuts is all the stores getting rid of the cases for 3DS or more for just regular
No.
DS games. Oh, it drives me insane.
You know what I did? This was there was an era where everyone was talking about GameStop dumpster diving.
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, I'm like, you know what? I'm in the neighborhood. Let me go and
That's
just try
awesome.
it. And there was DS cases everywhere. I got 4 or 5, and it's just oh, okay.
You might
All
feel
right.
like crap, but you come home with 4 or 5 cases.
Yeah,
and displays. And well, the thing that drives me crazy is I'll go in and there'll be a store display that I like, and I'm like, okay, the game already came out a month ago. Can I have that? Or sometimes they'll let me have it, but then other times they say no, we have to throw these away. And I'm like, well, throw them away. Why don't you give it to me? And they say, oh, we can't do that, but you could go out and look.
Wow. Okay.
Well, just give me it. Although one thing I was really happy with, Super Mario Galaxy 2 came out on my birthday, which is May 23rd, and I went into the one store, and they had it's like a wall-size poster of the Super Mario Galaxy release thing, and it has the date on there. And I went in and just asked the guy, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll take it down right now," and he gave it to me. It's like the best thing ever.
That's awesome.
Sometimes they're really picky about it.
Speaking of how weird Tomodachi Life is, I went in there the day of its release to get that game, and they didn't even know they even got any games in. He couldn't even find them.
Yeah.
He's like, Tomodachi Life? Oh, let me look. It says it's here. He had to go back and he was asking people, and they're like, Tomodachi Life. Okay. They found it eventually. Luckily, it didn't have any stickers on it.
And it wasn't already opened.
Yeah, it was actually a sealed game.
It's probably the only copy of in the.
No, I was probably the only one to buy that game in that whole store.
Yeah.
So I imagine them getting all these games, they come out. There's like such niche games and having like so many left over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tomodachi Life didn't sell that well.
Probably.
Looking
Probably
right
not.
here, it sold. Well, to put this into perspective, BioShock Infinite, I remember when that came out in like the first week, I think it sold like, what, 3.5 or 4 million or something like that.
I'm putting it in perspective.
Yeah. Tomodachi Life sold 50,000.
Oh man. That indie developer Nintendo. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, BioShock Infinite. That's like one of my favorite games.
They hyped up Tomodachi Life all so much.
50,000.
They had a whole
That's
Nintendo
not
Direct. They tried so hard. This is like a series in
I'm pretty sure
Japan.
more people watched the Nintendo Direct than actually bought the game.
Yeah, I think that actually got a lot of views.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's slightly viral.
Yeah. Let me see. It's got 800,000 views.
Okay, well, it sold really well in Japan though. That's the thing, where it sold like 1.5 million in Japan, but in North America it's like 50,000.
Oh, so it's just 50,000 in America.
Yeah.
1.5
then,
million in Japan.
Japan sold well. In Europe, it sold 40,000. So okay, I guess 90,000, but still 90,000.
But 1.5 million in Japan.
Yeah, but at the same time, well, yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
What site do you use to look up sales?
Video game charts. So just vgcharts.com. Some
Oh, yeah?
games are not accurate. Some they are. So it's not gonna count like downloads, but it's a decent reference.
Wait, what'd you say it was?
VG charts. So VG and then just charts with a Z. And then
with the
.com.
Z.
Yeah.
Salesforgames.blogspot.com. That's what I use, my official resource.
Yeah, so it tells you like how many consoles have been sold
I feel like some
every
of that wasn't
week.
accurate,
And
though. I
What?
remember looking up sales for something that didn't seem accurate.
Yeah, there's some that are a little bit off, and it doesn't count downloadable titles. But if you look at like GameCube games, PlayStation 2 games, a lot of them are going to be pretty accurate. It started in 2005 also, so it's not going to go back to the like. I think it might have a couple of like archived documents, but it doesn't
Look at
really
that.
talk about the like Nintendo 64.
Tomodachi is number 6 in the weekly software charts.
Yeah, but
In the global top
57,000
sellers.
copies this week.
That's more than Pokemon X and Y this week.
Yeah. After almost a full year, it's still on like the top 10. That's insane.
Mario Kart at number 1.
Mario Kart.
Hardware chart. 3DS is at the top for the week.
It's actually like I was surprised to see that because the PlayStation 4 has been on top since like I don't know, April. So
The original Wii's got a solid 5.7K sales this week.
116 Wii's sold in Japan.
Oh, wow.
It's terrible.
I mean, it's pretty good.
But the 360 sold 183 in Japan.
They ate the Xbox.
Wow. Yeah, but everyone has Wii's now.
Everyone
so
has a Wii.
The PlayStation Vita's got 31,000 this week.
I'm gonna have to buy one of the next gen ones somewhat soon.
Yeah.
The Dark Souls new game is gonna be on PS.
Oh, Bloodborne. Yeah, I'm so excited for that game.
I'm gonna have to buy a console for that if it comes down to it.
Oh, because I have the PlayStation 4 and it is so awesome. Like I was not expecting it to be as cool as it is. Like even the controller, just all like the little things that are on it, like the touchpad. Like because I have Final Fantasy 14 and they use it as like a mouse
Yeah.
when you're playing. There's so many cool things. Like you'll definitely like it.
Yeah, normally, I mean, I use the Xbox 360 more than my PS3, but I mean that's mainly because of the online, and it seems like I don't know, like I'm leaning more toward PS4 this time. I didn't think I was going to, but I think I might be.
Yeah, I was one of those people where I can't use the DualShock 3. I can't use those PlayStation controllers. Like for me, they're just so uncomfortable. But going from the 360 to the PlayStation 4, like DualShock 4,
Yeah.
I love the DualShock 4. I think it's the most comfortable controller that I've ever held. Like it fits so perfectly into your hands, and the analog sticks are so much better. I love it so much.
Yeah, the only thing that's held me off from really buying one so far is a lot of the games that I want to play, they're coming out on like Xbox 360 and PS3. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I probably would have already bought one by now, but I mean, there hasn't been a major need for it, so I'm
I was
waiting.
like, oh, Valiant Hearts looks cool. Maybe I'll have to get a next gen console. No, it's actually on.
Yeah, it's
360.
downloadable everywhere.
In Destiny and stuff, I'm like, what? That should definitely be on just the new ones, but it's
Yeah.
not. I mean, like Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'll
So-
get around to it soon.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's all.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was good. How do you end it? How do you do it?
Thank you for joining us, Dinky Dana. You can find him at dinkydana.com. Am I right?
Yep, yeah, that's my website. All kinds of stuff on there. Manage your collection and price guide and stuff like that.
He's got a YouTube channel. Are you gonna be posting more Mario Kart highlights on there?
No, I am probably going to start putting more gameplay stuff on there because I haven't been uploading much to my YouTube, and a lot of the gameplay stuff I don't want to have like full playthroughs. I don't want it to really be like a Let's Play channel, but these Mario Kart videos are so funny sometimes. So
Yeah.
I'll probably be putting more of the streams up there. Maybe when I hit you with a green shell or something like that. I'll toss
You
it
get
up.
like a crazy montage video with like really intense like death metal in the background.
Yeah. My arms flailing in the stream webcam.
Yeah.
And you have to spell your YouTube channel with a 1, right?
It's with an L. Yeah, it's
Or an L.
Or an L, okay.
Yeah, it's DLNKYDANA because someone actually had the name Dinky Dana. Like why would that even happen? And then normally YouTube deletes out old accounts that aren't used, but people thought it was me, so they went and subscribed. So they have 4 subscribers, so they'll never delete the account. And I don't know who the 4 are, so I can't do anything about it. But even now, I wouldn't really be able to. I wouldn't even switch over. And then the on Twitch, I have to use Dinky_Dana because I registered in like 2009 on Justin.tv and it won't let you transfer it. So I couldn't use the regular one. So I had to use the Dinky_Dana on that. That's the same for my Twitter too.
Mm.
So yeah, that's all my stuff.
Cole, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter. Thank you for asking, Zach. You can find me on Twitter at @ColeAnnoyingNav, and you can find me on PGRF. That's probably where I'm gonna be the most. Just Annoying Navi, and YouTube. Just Annoying Navi. So.
That YouTube video.
Oh yeah.
It's going viral.
I have over 200 views.
Wow. That's a dime a dozen. And I'm Twitter at ZRPG. And you can find me on backloggery.com, Pokemon ZRPG. You can find me on the forums, Pokemon ZRPG. And on YouTube, ZRPG Revamps.
Well, just out of curiosity, what's your like Nintendo Network handle, your Xbox Live gamer tag?
My Miiverse is actually ZRPGHD. Go follow me on there. And my gamer tag, I don't have Xbox Live right now, so it's pretty irrelevant. Yeah, my Steam. I think it's like Pokemon ZRPG or Pokemon ZRPG 2. I don't remember right now. My Gmail, if you want to email me, you can send me an email on zrpgrevamped@gmail.com.
Bye. And also, I'm sure I'll be streaming with you some more. So
Yeah.
if anyone wants to be joining into those,
Oh, and if you if you want to look at a website that I made when I was like 8 years old, you can go to angelfire.com/anime5/Goku Ball Z.
it's different. Holy crap!
Yeah, it's a website I literally made when I was 8 years old.
Nice. I'll have to listen to this to go back and actually hear what you said and go look at it.
It's angelfire.com /
Is it still up?
yes
/anime5 as in the number or letter?
as in the number.
Okay.
And then /Goku Ball Z.
Goku Ball Z. I'm looking at it. What? Kamehameha.
Dude, I freaking love Dragon Ball Z, so.
It's a great website. I literally just throw every random thing that came into my mind. If you look on the sidebar there.
Oh.
This color scheme is awesome.
The green, blue, and red. Yeah.
It's a lot of links over there.
My favorite Smash Bros. Melee characters, my favorite Skies of Arcadia Legends characters. And then there's just pages that have links to a bunch of websites that I liked.
Your team, my team of Fire Emblem Path of Rage.
Oh wow, it's relevant.
Yeah.
My school grades.
We're still talking about this.
My school grades, all of them, I got A+. What? Oh my. That's not even. That's literally just like a little tiny thing. I wish I wrote the year for that grade. Oh man. Alright, so goodbye everyone. Thank you for listening.
All right.
Thanks
Bye,
for having me.
guys. Bye.
Bye.